Hey, welcome back to Duff's Tavern. I am joined again by Ed, now in the flesh and not just the voice.
Hello, thank you for having me on once again. I appreciate it.
Yeah. And just to wish into existence, you being a part of Survivor, I wore a headband today.
I should have worn my Survivor headband. I actually wore my adventure shoes and a Craft Express mug, and actually a shirt I'm currently trying to push. A new design shirt and everything. But next time I'll make sure to wear my Johnny Fairplay signed Survivor bandana, dude. I'm jealous. I should have been. Dang it. Oh my gosh.
You have to wish it into existence
I
for
know.
one day you can go into it.
I know.
And Ed, you chose the drink for today. What are we drinking?
We're drinking something called Shrek Piss.
And it is a long list. Imagine a fantasy Long Island iced tea is what I've sort of like putting this together. I'm like, this is a lot of liquor.
I don't even know what it could.
This is what it's made out of. And as I make this for both of us, how about you fill everyone in? It's been about like half a year since we actually hung out and talked.
It's been a minute, and we didn't even in the recording. Nothing about Survivor ever came out.
It did, but it got corrupted.
Yes, exactly. It got corrupted. So I'm so excited to talk a little bit about that a little bit more because once again I'm applying consistently. But the person who's actually like a director of it was posting, I think Saturday, Sunday, and they're going to start looking through it yesterday and this week. So I'm sending one in every single day to try and get on Survivor. Because once again, like at the end of the day, that is my end all be all. I can die happy right after that. And then once I win it and I get $1 million, Duff's Tavern can be a real thing. Duff's, because I was listening to one of your other podcasts, and you want to make this into, like, you want Duff's Tavern to be a thing in the future, right?
Yeah, I want it to
bar.
eventually, like, my retirement thing is I want it to be a bar. So I can, what's the next one on that? Gin. All right. Yeah, I want it to be on a bar, and there's like a few ideas I have where maybe risky ideas where I would want to have, like, people who come into bar, there'd be like a little booth.
Yeah.
Where you can go in and say anything, and then like say I cut between episodes, or just have like a thing being like tavern talk for the week, and it's just random people coming in like saying something, telling a story in the bar.
It's like I see stuff on Instagram and TikTok all the time. It's like people just get in front of the camera, say something, or they drop a note, and somebody just reads it off out of like 100 of them. It would be something like that.
Something like that, because like this is a storytelling podcast basically.
Yeah, nice.
Along with alcohol and bullshitting with some friends.
I love that. Well, yeah, in half a year, Adventures Design's been going great, which is my business, and I actually I created something for you. Are you ready for it?
Sure.
Are you ready?
Hit me with it. Sour apple pucker.
Well, I was talking to you a little bit ago about the gaming mat and everything, so I decided to make you a Duff's Tavern branded gaming mat with all your images. As the images that I thought would be the best on there.
Ride or Die Sausage Girl, of course, Andy.
Yep.
Me and Campbell, the dynamic duo.
Yep.
I'm actually going to visit Campbell in September. We're going down I'm going down to see his place for the first time, and then we're watching Shane Gillis.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah.
Y'all got tickets and everything?
Yeah, we got tickets because we were going to go to the Atlanta show.
Yeah.
And that got sold out before we could like pull the trigger on buying the tickets.
Yeah.
Sour apple pucker, that's what it was on. So then he announced like I'm opening up a new tour date in Duluth.
Yeah.
So I immediately bought the tickets for me and Campbell.
Yeah.
And
is he a big Shane Gillis fan? Or is that more you?
It's more I got him on Shane Gillis and he thinks Shane is funny.
Yeah.
So it's a little me telling him Shane's funny, we're watching him. And he likes Shane too. He watched Tires before I did. I introduced him to Shane Gillis with the Gillian Keeves stuff.
I'm the only Shane Gillis I know, which I love. Well, first off, when he was on SNL, and then Kill Tony. The Kill Tony. That I thought I watch all of his clips on that because his reactions are like he does not hold back, and I love that. Oh, that just looks.
Did you see the most recent Kill Tony with him as Trump?
No, no.
Oh, it was
No.
so fucking good and so hilarious and so
Yeah.
fucked up. But
I gotta watch it.
oh, dude, it's Shane Gillis as Trump, and then what's his name that does Dr. Phil all the time?
Oh, I know who. I know who
he
you're
plays
talking about.
Biden.
Yeah. Oh, does he really?
Yeah.
I can see that. Do they go like back and forth?
Yeah.
Is it? Oh God, I gotta watch that. Some red in there. Some red in the.
It's the watermelon pucker. Ooh. Then after that is half ounce of sweet and sour
I'm
mix.
surprised that thing ain't already full. With all the stuff you're putting in.
Yeah, yeah.
It's half though. Half ounce.
Yeah, it's a lot of half ounces.
Yeah, yeah. Ooh, I'm excited for this one because last time you did Dark and Stormy,
Yep.
and ever since then I've been ordering those. I do not think I can order one of these at a bar,
Oh, they will hate you if you do.
or my bill will be like $50 at the end of the night, just with one of them.
Let me get you the match. I think I forgot. Sour apple, maybe?
Oh, we'll make do. We'll make do.
It'll be a little extra Shrek pissy for you, just to balance
He
it
had
out.
asparagus before he pissed.
You had onions.
Oh God, that smell. But so half a year, October, it's 2024. So much has happened. I joined onto a team. So all my products that I purchase on, besides apparel, is through this business called Craft Express. Reason why I brought this mug. Craft Express mug. The owner, actually graciously asked me to join his team and kind of open up a print shop with them and for him. So I've been working for him for about, I think it's almost 2 months now, and which is another reason I could be doing that during the day. So it's pretty nice to be able to do that, and it's helping build adventures a lot more. And oh my gosh, that looks like Malibu and pineapple almost.
Shrek definitely was dehydrated.
Yo, for sure, for sure. Okay.
Cheers, mate.
Oh, that has an interesting smell.
It's not bad.
You're being very nice.
You don't like it?
Wow.
It's really sweet. I'll give it that. It is really sweet. Ed sent me this from, I think it's Tipsy Goat Bartender.
Something like that.
Yeah.
That's crazy. My God. I get a gulp of pineapple and then immediately the tequila hit me and it like ebbs and flows. It ebbs and flows just like Shrek 1 and 2 and 3. 1 was great. 2 was 3 started bringing it back. And then, did they ever make anything after that?
I think there's a Shrek 4.
Is there really?
Yeah, because Shrek 5's coming out. It got announced.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, Shrek 3 was the Prince... Okay. Shrek 1, Farquaad. Shrek 2, Fairy Godmother.
Okay. Well, that
Shrek
that was a good one.
3,
3 was the kids, right?
the kids, and they had to go to the college to find the next heir to Far, Far Away. Then Shrek 4 was Rumpelstiltskin, where they went to an alternate timeline.
Okay.
Yep, that's it.
I haven't seen that one, but it's
then-
crazy how much you know about this.
And then Puss in Boots
Yes.
came out The Last Wish, which was amazing.
I would still need to watch it. My girlfriend refuses to watch it with me.
Watch it. Watch it without her.
That's
have it turned on
that's
and be
what's gonna
like,
happen.
I'm not changing the channel. We're watching this.
We're
We are
watching
watching Shrek, Puss in Boots,
Yeah.
The Last Wish.
So you don't have to watch anything else to watch that one?
No, not really.
Okay.
I mean, there's a little bit of backstory between Puss in Boots and then the female cat, but besides that, it's about the same thing. And John Mulaney plays like the villain in that one.
Does he really?
Yeah.
Okay, then I have to.
He's what's the old nursery rhyme with the thumb, where he puts his finger in a pipe, pulls out a plum. That
I know
Johnny Horn something. I don't know. You know who I'm talking
I know exactly who you're talking about, but I don't know. I don't even think that Horn thinks. I don't even know. I have no
Little Jack Horner. Little Jack Horner
Horner.
sat on a corner eating his turds away.
Oh my gosh,
That
that's impressive. You know that, dude.
I'm surprised I pulled that.
That's good. Are you still in school?
Yeah.
Okay, that's probably
Yeah, I
why.
finished my first semester I start back in August for field production and radio production for fall 1.
Nice.
I made Dean's List the first
Hell
2
yeah.
semesters.
Oh yeah.
This is the first time I'm actually passing school. Like I was passing
Good.
weld until COVID hit, then I
Yeah.
was forced out of welding.
Yeah.
And then coastal yeah.
Well, it's because you enjoy it, right?
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
I
you're
love it.
enjoying what you're doing, and I think that's a huge aspect. And it's so hard. Like individuals our age
Mm-hmm.
to find somebody who's passionate about a certain topic like that, like TV and media for you.
Yeah.
It's hard to find somebody to be able to do that and to sit down and go through school. I was just talking to Cassidy, my girlfriend, for those who don't know, soon to be fiance, hopefully.
Oh, really?
Hopefully, if she,
Hell yeah,
if she
man.
says yes, God, 7 years, she better say yes. No. But like she nonstop works, and she's currently in school as well. And I kind of look at my friends, and this kind of goes back to our last podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And I was kind of complaining about my friends. I'm always busy doing something because I'm working.
Yeah.
You're always busy doing something because you're doing it because you want to do it, and it's school.
Yeah.
My friends, I mean, like, I don't see any passion in
Yeah.
what they're doing, and to find somebody to do that, I've been meeting a lot more people our age that like have their own businesses or currently in school who like what they're doing.
Yeah.
And I feel like I get along with them a lot better now because
It's people with ambition. Like
yeah,
a rising tide raises all the boats. You have people around you that are ambitious and want to do stuff. Like my normal day to day, I've been off for summer, but I've been doing episodes, editing throughout the week. I got a little lazy the past few weeks.
But you're putting stuff on like TikTok and you're editing.
Yeah.
I mean, that takes time. Do you use CapCut or anything?
I use CapCut for
Yeah.
captions. I mostly edit everything in Premiere Pro. And then I've been slacking on the drink making videos. I have like 4, now 5 in backlog that I need to shoot and edit. I have a whole bunch of TikToks that I need to caption. The Tavern Travels one I have to animate again.
Yeah, that's tough. Do you use any like, besides just the pictures, are you like wanting to do, you know how some YouTubers have like, not Bitmojis, but like an animation of themselves, and when
Yeah.
they're talking without a camera, they might have that on just for like a
I have the
frame or two?
popsicle shake.
Do you really?
Like so, what I do is for the ones that I couldn't do video for,
Yeah.
I would have like the voices under there. I would grab like the image that I used for the announcement one,
Yeah.
get a still image of that, transparent in the background, place it there, and then get a wiggling image on Canva,
Yeah.
and then take the white out on Premiere Pro when they're talking, and then still when they're not.
Yeah.
So I would animate it that way.
It's a lot of work just to do for one little thing.
Yeah, but I'm thinking about trying a different thing just to keep people engaged, because you need like retention rate.
Yeah.
I was thinking about, instead of having like just us talking and captions, like try to find supplemental video filler of like describing what's going on.
Yeah. That's I just went to a conference. Craft Express brought me to a conference. It was called Haven Conference in Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia. First time like going to Atlanta and actually remembering it. I remember it's one of those, like, I'm very, very shocked when buildings are higher than St. Matthews.
Yeah.
So it's like I go down there and we're just driving up and I'm just looking up, and Vic, who's my boss on the left, he's driving, and I'm literally over here, and he's asking for directions, and I'm looking at all the buildings, and I was like, oh, you need to get off, and it's 5 lanes, and we're in the far left lane. I'm like, oh, we got to get off here. Oh, my bad. But I find those places so cool. But we went to the conference, and I learned a lot about like algorithms and a lot of like for TikTok and for YouTube, Instagram, Facebook specifically, and it seems like you're doing a lot of what this conference was saying, and basically like that, the retention rate, tons of people don't understand that.
Yeah.
Tons of people don't understand that the first 5 seconds has to be something. I mean, that's when people most likely click off.
Yeah, you have 5 seconds to make an impression.
Yeah.
And it has to be a good one. That's why, like, I try to start the clips with, like, something bombastic, except for the most recent one I post, because I fucked up and that whole thing got shadow banned because of the word gooning.
Oh, yeah.
It was like, TikTok removed this, and I think I only have, like, 48 views on that.
It's crazy, like, the words that they'll block off, and then they take it off, like, the next day.
Yeah.
And like what I notice things that get posted, and like I follow this one guy on TikTok specifically. I don't follow a lot of people on TikTok. I think I maybe follow 4 things, and one of them is Duff's Tavern, and this other one who does like game reviews, and he like spins a wheel and he hits a certain station. I forget his name, and a certain game, whatever. But he does it really well, and he's only on TikTok, and he just moved over to YouTube. Well, more than half of his following on TikTok followed him.
Yeah.
So to have that TikTok following it's difficult.
It's hard to get followers to jump to other platforms.
Yeah.
Like that's why you see if like people, for instance, go from Twitch to Kick,
Yeah.
not most of them will follow. It's like you always get a small percentage.
Is Kick still going?
Yeah, Kick is.
You don't stream on Kick, do you?
No.
Yeah, you used to.
I was thinking about it. I never got around to
Okay.
it. I made an account just to have it there.
Yeah.
But
Is it? I mean, like.
it's Twitch. It's honestly the same Twitch. They use the same Amazon servers and everything.
But it's still going though.
Yeah, it's still going. Kick just doesn't have as much moderation as it's like YouTube compared to Rumble.
Oh.
That's basically it's like that same
Kind of spectrum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're like the main thing that made Kick be a thing is Trainwrecks wanted to do gambling.
Yeah.
Gambling streams, and Twitch allowed it for a little bit until like there was a giant public outcry about it, and then they banned it. So Trainwrecks went over, did a whole bunch of other things.
I haven't heard his name in forever.
Yeah,
Is he still going?
yeah, he is.
So I liked it.
Him and Aiden Ross are 2 of the main people on.
Aiden Ross. I haven't heard his name in a minute either. Is he like still kind of the same, like fuckboy, just mess around sort of thing?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. That's one thing I mean, at this time, I don't really have time to watch streams or anything, but I still watch ever since I was in middle school. When I first found YouTube, my brother showed me YouTube, I think it might have been high school. First time going to high school, because my school actually gave us computers.
Yeah.
And I remember kind of just being on there, just bored, and I typed in, what do I do when I'm bored? And YouTube was like the first thing, so I clicked on YouTube, and I was like, oh man, there's all this stuff. And I'm like just into high school, and my brother had been watching it for years, and
yeah, I've been watching YouTube since like 2008.
Yeah.
I don't know how I found it, but I found Minecraft, and then the first Minecraft YouTuber I found was Uberhexer Nova.
Oh my god.
So Nova is what got me into watching YouTube, and from there I found the creatures, SSOHPKC, Sly Fox, Fuck Kutra.
Just all that. I mean, that side of and half of those are now peds, but
I don't think anyone from the creatures.
oh good.
Yeah.
That would have hurt my heart.
No, it's the actual
that would have
like
hurt my heart.
No, it's the actual like Minecraft YouTubers that get dinged.
Yeah. Speaking of, dude, have you heard the thing about Chris or Ava Tyson?
Yeah.
That stuff. I was just telling my girlfriend, she was I just keep saying that. I was talking to Cassidy. We love watching his videos, and she like that came out and everything. She was so shocked, and she was so like saddened from that whole thing.
I mean, Chris had a Shadman poster.
Yeah,
room.
I saw that too, just in the corner or right on the wall. And the thing though, that's like, it's the difficult part. Is like, imagine your best friend that you grew up with, almost built your brand around. Like,
I think what Mr. Beast was saying is Chris was his first follower.
like
his first subscriber.
And he said once Chris got onto his videos, Chris got onto his videos, he said he saw a boost of, people watching.
Yeah.
And so that's why he started getting him, and I think Chandler, because Chandler was in one basketball video, and people loved him.
Yeah, Chandler was the janitor.
Yes, and they just asked him to shoot a few things, and he did not miss, is what he said.
Yeah.
And once he posted that one, people loved Chandler and Chris or Ava, and now it's just like it's such a weird predicament, because what's Mr. Beast supposed to do?
He let him go.
I know, but like now, tons of people are trying to obviously cancel Mr. Beast.
Yeah.
People are always trying to cancel him for helping people out, but the most recent one is his Amazon Prime show. Have you heard this?
No.
So he's making an Amazon Prime show. I think it's either the Beast Games or it's another version of Squid Games. And some person apparently died, not on set, but the person got asked to leave and go to the hospital and died. And apparently that's the new thing going around. But again,
I heard there was
yeah.
I was just watching Asmongold talk about this earlier. So a person who worked for Mr. Beast had like a whole thing that like friends and family are in most of the videos, everything like that. It's rigged.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. That type of stuff goes in detail, and then another person who works for Mr. Beast was like, I remember working with this guy. He was only there for a month, and half the videos that he mentioned he was not a part of.
Yeah.
I don't know how he would have any insight into that. So it's like a he said she said scenario of like who's telling the truth, who's not telling the truth.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, if it's rigged, it's entertainment anyway.
Yeah.
Like it.
Survivor. I mean, they have admitted certain things have been rigged. There have been certain challenges that one person won, and they had to redo it because they wanted someone else to win.
Yeah, it's a whole narrative thing. Like, even Mr. Beast he has scrapped, like, multiple millions of dollars worth of videos because he's like, this isn't entertaining. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
Like, one Ludwig was supposed to be a part of. He just completely scrapped. He's like, this is boring. Ludwig was like, can I take it and upload it on my channel?
Yeah.
And now that's his most viewed.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Mr. Beast allowed him, and then it's one of Ludwig's most viewed videos, and he's like, I can't even have my own highest viewed video.
Do you watch any of Ludwig's? It's not. I don't know if it's like a podcast, but he like makes people do challenges as he talks to them and asks questions. It's like an interview almost.
I know what you're talking about. He's had like Stans, Jay Schlatt. It's Unpaid Intern.
Yes. So the only reason I know about that is because do you know what Jet Lag the game is?
No.
Oh man, it is. It's a good channel. It's basically these.
Oh, they go around Europe.
Yeah.
Yes.
They tag around Europe.
Yep,
they race around the world.
Yep.
Yeah.
I watched Ludwig watch those.
Yes. I love all those videos, and I love the people in it because I mean they're nerds, and they do not care about anybody else around them. It's Ben, Adam, and Sam, and then they have a reoccurring guest as the fourth that always partners up with Sam because it's always Adam and Ben against Sam and whomever.
Yeah.
And so I actually have been planning with my friends doing Jet Lag. So they did New Zealand. So they raced from the most northern part of New Zealand all the way to the most southern part of New Zealand. And so I've been planning with my friends to do it here, Sullivan's Island to Folly. And so we've been going, and it's like, it's the same thing that I think I've had an issue with is like, I do not want to produce it. I do not want to go through with it until it's perfect.
Yeah.
Until it's all been done. I've been planning this for probably, I want to say 5 months, 6 months. And I was supposed to start filming the video August. Yeah, so 2 days in August. And it just wasn't where I wanted it. And so, like, I want to do it again. How do you get over, because you post and you post and you post, and I think everything you post is great. Has there ever been something that you're like, I don't really want to post this, and you go ahead and post it, and you're like, I'm glad I did?
Yes. So that was my biggest struggle with streaming in the beginning.
Yeah.
Which, like, streaming is different from posting videos. Is, like, I would stream for a little bit, have, like, no viewers or anything. I'm just sitting there silent playing a game.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't get any clips. I can't do anything. I'm just not going to stream. It's not going to be worth it. And then I just took the mindset of like there was a whole bunch of things I wanted to do, but I didn't think I could do it good enough, or I didn't think I would get the quality of it. Being too much of a perfectionist, I told myself with Duff's Tavern, no matter what, put it out, because if anything, it will be a progression to like, here's where I started, here's where I've learned and grown and the stuff. Like, even if you look at my editing in the beginning couple of clips,
it's changed
compared to now.
Right.
Like, I've done a whole bunch of stuff to just get better at it, get more used to it, but I've just taken the fuck it approach. Like, I'm going to post this. Videos I thought were good and were going to get a whole bunch of views, dog shit.
Yeah.
The videos that I'm like, oh, okay, this is fucking stupid. Like, I didn't think it was stupid, but I'm like, okay, this is just going to be a clip that goes out.
Right,
It was the internet etiquette with Christina, where she explains yat. Thousands of views on YouTube.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, this will probably get like 200, 300, 400 maybe.
Yeah.
Fucking thousands. I'm like, why did this take off and Sausage Girl didn't?
Yeah. Do you think it's because the word the gyat word or like slang is used, like terminology.
I don't know what it is. It might also because I threw it under the education tag too.
Yeah. I mean, you're learning. You're learning that type of stuff. So one thing I heard recently, I think it was last week, and Vic, who's actually the owner of Craft Express, I think is the one who told me this, and like it has stuck with me, and it changed my attitude. It gave me a whole 180 with like adventures type of stuff. It's you don't shoot for perfection, you shoot for progress, and that progress creates perfection. And having that, because I think I've told you this several times. I've been wanting to post a lot more on my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
I don't know what to post because I want to find a certain niche. I want to find certain this. It's to a point where I'm like, I'm just going to post what I do daily and just kind of post that because it's also memories for myself.
Yeah, post what you want to do and see like what if it takes off.
Yeah.
It's like, see, you just basically cast a big net. Just if whatever, like, hey, I'm doing a vlog of me making my t-shirts, making my stuff. Hey, I'm doing a vlog of me and Cassidy going out doing whatever, your multiple trips you just been on. If you do like stuff like that, see what hits and what doesn't hit. Also, at the end of the day, if you're like, hey, this hits, but I really don't like those types of videos, post what you want. Eventually, you'll get traction. You don't have to blow up instantly. It can be. I'd rather have like a gradual success and like overnight I'm blown up. I'm like, I do not know how to handle this. Because there's a whole bunch of things that have to get moving that I cannot move right now.
I think that's the mindset I was in, and I still kind of am. It's definitely my generation is. We want that instant success. We want that instant reward. And that's something that I've been fighting against for forever. Like I just finished this. Now where do I get, do I get something out of it? No, it's called work. You then go to something next. You go to, and having my own business has really taught me that with like transactions. I mean, sometimes I will be giving stuff away for free because, some person has just told me their life story, or they're just talking to me as I'm making something, and I hear that, they're in debt, or there's just so many other different things. Like, I want to be able to post without caring. I want to be able to do those transactions in a way without, like, expecting something besides monetary, of course. If I'm doing something, then I better be getting paid. I got to pay mortgage. I got to pay everything. I got to pay for this ring, Cassidy. But
Cassidy, get him a wedding sword.
One more time.
Wedding sword, Cassidy. Get him a wedding sword. Every man loves a sword.
I have, I think, 2 swords and 3 katanas that have been passed down. I don't even know why it's been passed down, but it was passed down to me. And I've been wanting to hang that for the longest time because I have holders and I have like where you actually put the katana up, where you put the swords up. I put it up. My drywall started going down. So I instantly took it off and I was like, okay, let me see if I can get into studs. And instead we put, cause we now have another cat. I don't know if you know about that, but we have 2 cats now.
Reef and Coral?
Yes. Yep. Nice. Coral Reef. So Coral's been going through some issues. She's our newest Bengal, and she's a white girl, so she's not a white girl. She's a white cat, excuse me. And but when she was dropped off to us, she was covered in pee, in her own pee. The person who had brought her left her on the side of the road for hours, and it was supposed to get to us almost 24 hours. It took her an extra 24 hours. We had to drive an hour south to go pick her up because she went to Florida instead of Charleston. And so we drove down an hour and we picked her up. And I mean, the guy, because I was like, I'm not paying the full thing. We had to drive ourselves. The guy almost threatened us and was like, you're paying this. Like, you're going to regret not paying it if you don't. You need to pay this full thing. And so just instantly just paid it. Was not about to deal with it. But she's still a traumatized little cat.
And we are back. We had a delivery in the tavern.
It's all right. We're upgrading the tavern. You can't see it in the cameras, but we got a whole bar now with that's what just came in the
stained glass windows and everything.
It looks great. It's we'll show it later.
It's right off camera.
It's literally, oh god, you can actually see it's right there. Yep, right there. Can't see it. I forgot what we were even
you're talking about Coral.
Oh yeah. Oh man.
and how the dude threatened you.
Yeah, and again, she was just covered. Like you touched her forehead, and her back tail would be moving because everything was just soaked. And so, like slowly but surely, she's definitely become more of mine. And Reef is more of Cassidy's, of course. But I'm not a cat person. I am very much. I was a dog person before I met Reef and Coral, but these little guys are not cats. They ask for walks, especially Reef. Reef will bring us leashes, and I think I might have brought this up the last time, but Coral is more so a cat where she'll actually eat treats, and she doesn't like walks, which is that's great. That's normal. Reef, though, Reef still asks for all those different type of stuff, and I just can't. I want a dog at some point.
Yeah.
I want a dog, and I think I want like I want to get a husky, but not here.
Yeah.
Not here.
It has to be colder conditions for a husky.
It has to be, and we want to move to Florida in like 2 years, and I'm over here like, any dog anytime soon, you know. But we already have 2 animals, which is.
I would say get a house, then a dog, because if you
Yeah.
have like a backyard with a dog, it's a game changer. Like Fen coming here instead of my old apartment is like a whole game changer, because like he has a whole backyard to run around in. Plus, I need to move a place colder because he's a black lab.
Yeah.
Black labs don't do well in sunlight.
Yeah. I've seen so many. When I was growing up in my neighborhood, I would always see like 4 big huskies, and they were like the most gorgeous huskies you could see. But their coat, I mean, you just take them outside in December, and their tongue is already out, exhausted from the heat. And I'm like, my family always said, do not get any long-haired animals if you're in the South.
Yeah.
Like, you're basically making it harder on the animal to live. But I mean, I live in a condominium complex, and tons of people have dogs. You're 100% correct. I could never have a dog where I would have to take it out consistently. I loved having my old dog in my parents' home, where I could just open up the back door and he goes out and he just jumps on the door when he's ready to come in. Like, and then I go out later and I pick up the poop or whatever. Now it's my complex is like trying to make all these new rules about sizes of dogs. Like you can only have something 15 pounds and lighter, and it's like,
I'm not getting a Chihuahua.
No, no.
Like there's a few apartments around here. I already have a hard time because he's a big dog. He's not the restricted breeds, which is a whole bullshit thing along with itself, which I don't agree with, because you're not going to ban Chihuahuas, who are little raptor assholes, but you'll ban pit bulls, which are land seals, when treated correctly.
Right, and they're so loyal. Chihuahuas will bite off anybody's finger in a heartbeat.
Chihuahuas don't give a fuck.
No.
Like, Taco Bell has screwed us. They made the Chihuahua like so nice, and like it was just yo quiero Taco Bell, and then you get one, and then it's a fucking raptor, and you're just like, I fucking hate you. Why are you a rat?
Beverly Hills Chihuahua, dude. They made him seem so nice, and now it's. Yeah, I mean, like, I've not met one Chihuahua that hasn't, like, just, I mean, it's...
They're little yippy dogs, but there's a difference between, like, barking, like, small dogs that will bark and then be fine, like, when you pet them.
Yeah.
Those, you touch them, they're just fucking nipping at you.
Oh, my gosh, it's like goodbye fingers, and it's they love their owner, but it's like pit bulls. Pit bulls are great for training. You can train them. German Shepherds, you can train, because in my complex, they're wanting to get rid of pit bulls and German Shepherds and a few others.
The aggressive breeds, terriers, Rottweilers.
And I've been bitten by this scar right here. I've been bitten by a dog, a German Shepherd, and I still don't agree with like these rules. The reason why she bit me is because I think she had cancer, and it was making her act a little bit different.
Yeah.
And she just bit me, and I was perfectly fine, but I hate when, because I'm on the HOA, and so I deal with a lot of these issues coming to me, and I hate.
I've talked shit about the HOA so much on this
podcast.
podcast.
Keep going, because I'm an advocate for HOAs disappearing. People are on HOAs to have control, which is why I'm on it, to have control of how much I have to pay a month, because they just wanted to raise it, like, I think it was 300 to 400, just a straight up jump, because they didn't want to sit down and do the math and go line by line. So I said, give me the math and let me do it. So I sat down line by line with the income statements, with their treasurer, with everybody, with their accountants. And I got it down more than $50. And I was like, well, I'm not leaving. Like, there's going to be another person who wants to come in, because so many old people in my complex specifically go, well, back in my day, it was like $400 for this, and I got all this and this and this. And it's like,
yeah, back in your day, you could buy a house for $1,000.
Exactly.
Now it's about $5 for a gallon of milk. Yeah. Fuck your back in the day. You ruined nowadays.
It is filthy, and the amount of disrespect that like we consistently receive from like certain individuals is just disgusting, because like they'll email us the most disgusting email about like, this upstairs neighbor smells, and like y'all aren't doing anything, y'all are worthless, and we're just like sitting there like, what's your problem? Like, what
mind your business.
Yeah,
like it takes nothing to mind your own business half the time. Even with like I was back in an HOA when I lived on James Island, and we got dinged multiple times because the neighbors' trees came into our yard, so they were trying to fine us, to the point where my parents said, come here. Yeah. Look, it's in his fucking yard. Yeah. And I just, my neighbor's fine. We had a like screened in porch, and he wanted a little bit more privacy. Yeah. So he got slats of wood, put it up, painted it the same color as the house. You wouldn't notice from a distance. They made him take it all down. It just never sat right with me with, you bought this house with your money, but yet you have to listen to other people for how you want to do stuff with your house. Yeah. Like, I understand, like, you can't have trash in the yard or, like, make it look bad. But, like, if you're like, hey, I want to add this addition to my house, you fucking pay for it.
I mean, in all honesty, like, I would rather you put stuff on your porch and add character to your area, so I know what I'm getting myself into. If I am purchasing, if I'm going, because I purchased into this area specifically because their HOA was so low and their price was so low for in Charleston. Yeah. And I'm just like, the people on the board are, I think everybody except for one person on the board is great with understanding and putting themselves in other people's shoes. I've never met so many old white men who like definitely abuse their wives, their girlfriends, whatever, like, and brag about it. And like say it at meetings, and will tell their wives, shut up, I'm talking, or shut up, let me ask the question. And it's an all female board except for myself. Yeah. And I'm over here like, I don't know how to react. Like, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I want to hear from her, but I don't want to get her in trouble in like meetings, because then they go home together. And it is just filthy individuals who think that they want to be, so the people who do that, I ran against, and we beat them. Yeah. Like 100 times out of 100, we would beat them. And they consistently will email us and email everybody in the community, because they have the HOA capabilities still, and will say, these people aren't doing this correctly. These people aren't doing it. And we're like, you need to stop. Like, you aren't on the HOA board. Come talk to us. But
hey, boomer, eat a dick.
Yes. And it's so hard for me not to, like, I've never had to keep my cool so much in an HOA meeting.
I couldn't do it. Like, I'm always at like a knife's edge of like, I'm not a beat around the bush type of person. I'm a very blunt, honest, because I'm not good at making insults sound pretty. I'm just like, you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Like I am the person that will say, that's fuck.
Yeah. And that's, I memean, some people need to hear that. And more than not, people need to hear that, because, I mean, our most recent HOA meeting, then I'll stop with HOAs, because this is like...
No, I love talking shit about HOAs. I can go on it all day.
It frustrates the hell out of me. I mean, like, so I'm the treasurer on the HOA, and they're wanting me to become the president. And first off, I was like, you already see how busy I am. I'm not about to be president, because president deals with every email, every transaction, everything. And our current president, she's probably the sweetest lady I think I have ever met in that position, where she knows how to put herself in other people's shoes, even those ignorant old fellas. She will put herself in their shoes and will try to see every perspective. there used to be one individual who on the HOA board, no longer there because we didn't agree with how she was doing stuff, is, well, the person above me, she's making too much noise. Well, now we need to add an ordinance for carpets. How many carpet? You need to have a carpet in your condo now. If you don't have a carpet, then you have to.
That.
It's like, yes, that's exactly.
You're not making someone else like.
Yeah.
So say you would add a carpet. Would it be the HOA's expense or that person's?
It would be that person's expense.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be the HOA's.
Yeah, no, fuck that.
Yeah. And that is the biggest part of like me on the HOA is half these people are coming to us with issues saying we need to fix it like this. They're not putting themselves in other people's shoes. They're showing how like they feel disrespected or they feel disturbed.
It's a very selfish point of which goes to the bigger issue of nowadays, the turmoil we're in.
Yep.
With it's a whole bunch of like older people that don't understand anything that's going on. Well, back in my day, this is how the stuff was. Well, cool. Back in your day, it's not your day
now.
It's not your day anymore. Yeah. Like times move on, times change. I've never trusted people who want to be in power.
Yeah.
Like I trust people more the people who are reluctant to come to power but forced into that position, not the people who are like, you know what? I want to be I want to be this position of power over people. Why do you want to do that? Because of power. I'm like, no. That's the same like say
sketch.
At my job, like I'm never the person to be like, you know what? I want to be manager.
Yeah.
I don't want to be manager. I don't want to manage people. Yeah. Can I manage people? Probably.
Yeah.
I don't want to because I'm not going to be corrupted. But I don't want to put that mindset of I want this. I'm gonna. I don't like the power aspect of it because
it's disgusting.
Power corrupts even the slightest amount you get.
And you know, I really don't give two shits about this right now, but especially somebody like Sea Fox. You know Sea Fox, the boating company here in Charleston.
No, I haven't heard of it.
He is my godfather. The owner of Sea Fox is my godfather. I would say no longer my godfather. Once he got into that power position, he was that same way. He started dumping all this stuff into the rivers in North Charleston. He's getting all these fines in North Charleston. Well, he says, I can pay it off. Yeah. I can pay it off. That's perfectly fine. I'm in a position where I can pay it off, so let me keep disrupting the environment. Let me keep disrupting any individual who's going to come after me because it's my life. I'm just going to live my life to the best, not think about anybody else. Those type of people that are in power are the type of people who have led us in the direction that that I think we are going. I mean, in such a negative way. It is so frustrating because he was also somebody I used to look up to.
Yeah.
Like when I was 5 or 6 years old, he would always, invite me over to whatever he was going on. My birthday would always be on the Super Bowl. February 4th was around Super Bowl time. And he would throw my birthday at the same time that he'd have a Super Bowl party.
Yeah.
And then once he started making, his, second million, third million, whatever, he just kind of sat back and he was like, I can kind of fuck around, whatever. You know, I did all these different things, and it was just disgusting what he did. And I am a large advocate against of what he is doing right now. And I have no issue saying that to his face either, because, I see him in public, and I'll say, hey, his name's Freddie. I'll say, hey, Freddie. Oh, who are you? Who are you again? Oh, my name's Freddie Rankin. Nice to meet you. And I'm like, Ed Sessions, like you're my godfather. Oh, okay, let's get together a little bit later. Never talks to me.
Let's circle back.
Yes, exactly. And that's really what his whole thing is. And same with the HOA board. Like, people want to join the HOA so they can have that power. I joined it because I wanted that power 100%. I wanted that power to hold our financials. And so because I'm not about to, just kind of half-ass these financials. Yeah. It's my life. I have a certain amount of money I can spend. This is helping me kind of relax on that side of things. I agree with you. Natural leaders are so much better than leaders that are like forced or made, and that is consistently what we're seeing right now. And I don't want to get too political because this will turn into an awful podcast.
We've done it before.
I
love having those discussions. Like,
yeah,
like, even say if we don't see eye to eye on a certain issue,
Yeah.
I still love talking to people.
Yeah.
Just because I have multiple friends that I completely disagree with.
Yeah.
But I still have friends that I can be like, hey, I have this idea of
Dude,
why.
do you have cheers to that? Because that is something a lot of my buddies, I will say my position on things. And I mean, it's like, so I'll just say it right now. I'm very much, I have swayed more towards a liberal side than conservative.
Yeah.
I used to be more conservative than liberal, but not like, I'm not a far right, far left individual. I am somebody who loves to hear what people are running for and why they're running for and what you're going to do for us. I'm not sitting here going, all right, so this guy's a donkey or this guy's an elephant. Like,
If you vote just red or blue, you're an idiot. Like,
yeah,
like,
there's uneducated voters.
yeah, this whole election season has been a fucking shit show. It has. So I love chaos.
Yeah.
I love the fucking chaos
Yeah.
and have a random. This is too chaotic.
Yeah.
Like it just the whole Trump Biden.
Yeah.
Trump got shot. Biden dropped out. Kamala's now there. Oh yeah, rah rah Kamala. Trump's over here with JD Van. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
Like and then RFK is over here, and
Vote for me, please. Like
I want him to gain support. 'Cause
yes.
I want a fucking third party. I want him to be a
yes,
part of the debate. I
yes.
want to hear everyone fucking talk. I hate the fact that Trump wasn't a part of the Republican debates. I definitely hate the fucking part that the Democrats had no fucking debate at all. I don't like appointed rulers at all. And even now, Kamala now, no one voted for her.
Yeah.
She was appointed and took all the things from Biden. Like, this is, you say democracy dies in the dark. This isn't fucking democracy at all. You're having people who are not sharing ideas, who are not being voted into power, who are just, hey, we're going to kick Biden out. She gains it. I'm like, this isn't democracy.
That's not how that works.
This isn't it. I even hate, like, that. So I understand why Trump backed out of the debates with Kamala for now as we're recording.
Yeah.
Because she's not a nominee. She's a potential nominee that has the delegates. I don't know if he's holding back from debating because she's not the nominee.
Yeah.
Or if he's just holding back because he wanted to do Biden.
Yeah.
It's a whole fucking thing, and I hate. Like I've noticed into politics since 2016. That's the first year I was legally able to vote. And then I've just stayed in politics. Like, my ideas have changed and flowed throughout. I started a little bit more right in high school, then shifted a little bit more centrist, now libertarian.
Where were you from? Where were you born?
Cincinnati, Ohio.
And did you grow up?
I moved down here in 2008, but I grew up in, like, the Appalachia region of Ohio.
I'll add on to that a little bit later. Keep going, though. Keep going.
It, like, just from hearing different points of view, like,
Yeah.
I'll listen to a whole bunch of Republican sides talking, liberal sides talking, just to get, like, whatever the point.
Yeah.
Recently, I've been listening to Breaking Points, which does a fucking amazing job because you have Crystal and Sauger, who's on both sides. They're independent journalists.
Yeah.
And they share their ideas, but they're like, here are the facts. Now here's
Oh, what's that
left side.
called? Breaking Point?
Breaking Points with Crystal and Sauger.
I've never heard of that.
I highly recommend them.
Breaking Points?
Yes. It's on YouTube and Spotify. I highly recommend them. Even if I don't agree with 100% what they say, it's still nice to know that I have trust with them that these are the facts they know and will share it. They're also a lot more populist, which I like better than the establishment side.
Yes, that is the biggest thing. Like, I mean, I just passed Blackbaud. I went to... this is probably the last time and the first time I'll go to a country concert, but I went to a country concert and I was passing by out on Daniel Island, Blackbaud, and Cassie was like, "Oh, what is that?" And I was like, "Oh, let me tell you." And I just kind of go into different Blackbaud, who owns it, who owns all these different companies. The journalists that work for those bigger corps, I mean, 100%, they're going to have a certain side, and they're going to, I mean, part of news is fear. And I mean that,
even like with the CNN, Fox, like they're not journalists; they're entertainment. You can tell because they're doing 24-hour stuff. You can tell by who's paying their commercials because if they're not, like the independent journalists, 9 out of 10 times are funded by their supporters, so they're not really bending the knee to any big corporation or anything. So I trust them a little bit more than say Fox News, NBC, CNN.
it is so hard because I feel like I find some version of that middle ground media where it's not like here's our biases or biases. Okay, don't ask me to say that again. Their opinion. They directly say their opinion in the article. Well, like each time I find somebody who just spits out the facts.
Yeah.
I find that, and then I go on again, and they're gone, or they just haven't uploaded, or something else, and they've been bought out by a company. I'm like,
Substack's a good place.
Substacks.
Yeah, it's a platform for a lot of independent journalists that are funded by people that support them.
Okay,
so
I need to look that.
Yeah,
I need to look into that.
Yeah, I love hearing both sides. I love just give me the facts, what's going in the world, because it changes every 5 fucking seconds.
It does.
And like, give me your opinion because I want to hear what you think, but also give me the facts at the same time. Because even if they give me their opinion, I can be like, I didn't think of it that way.
Yeah.
Like I've had my mind swayed because like, oh, I didn't think of that aspect of it. I didn't think of that aspect of it.
And nobody. Excuse me. I don't want to say nobody, but lots of voters specifically don't do that. They immediately go, well, mom or dad, who are you voting for? Or buddy, who are you voting for? And they'll go along with that because they think, oh, one vote doesn't matter. One vote doesn't matter. But I mean, like, it is, and I don't want to get too conspiracy theory because I would say we never really choose who wins. It is all based off of the people who have been putting money into these campaigns, like Facebook, like Mark Zuckerberg. I mean, puts in a shit ton of money to certain politicians that he wants to see go far, and those politicians use that money to build their campaigns or to build a backing or to build, and they do eventually get that stepping or that foothold and get into the game. And we see it time and time again with those big businesses. It's scary because the U.S. is not the U.S. that I don't want to sound old here, but the U.S. is not as the U.S. should be, that they were saying it was going to be. The American dream is this, American dream is that. The American dream is gone.
I don't think it's gone. It's been corrupted by people.
Yeah.
Like I feel like we are at a tipping point where we are starting to, all the like corruption and everything is starting to be pointed out. It depends. We're at a point in the internet where there's too much out there where we don't know what the actual truth is.
Yeah.
I don't think the American dream is dead. And I've stated it multiple times. It's harder to obtain the American dream, and it is harder to live nowadays, but we're also pointing out a whole bunch more corruption, and we have the opportunity to make it right. It just depends on the people.
Yeah.
Like empire, like I love history. Empires rise and fall.
Right.
Like the fucking Roman Empire, for one. Amazing empire. Spread itself too thin.
Yeah, yeah.
It got to a point where like it couldn't handle itself, and it collapsed on the weight of everyone just infighting over the small little things.
Yeah,
like, that's how you get people to fight. You don't get them to fight on the big issues. You get them to fight on the small little issues because it's just the straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah.
It's not going to be the biggest thing that erupts the nation. It's going to be the smallest thing that hit the final point. Like, for example, if that bullet was 1 inch to the right, that would have caused so much fucking turmoil because immediately it would be like, they assassinated him, finger pointing, everything rah. Some shit might have happened. Like we've had multiple riots on both sides throughout the years that we've been witness to. Yeah, and it
especially here in Charleston.
Yeah, here in Charleston, even like during COVID times, like those weren't protests. I will argue they were riots. They were. The moment you stop chanting and you start breaking shit on both sides, no matter what, it is a riot.
Yeah,
like. The best way to, in my opinion, to convince someone isn't being like, hey, I disagree with you. You know what? Take your laptop, smash it. Yeah. You're going to agree with me now. No, it's talking. Yeah. It's peaceful talking negotiations, and the moment someone gets violent in any argument, you lost. Yeah. That's the simple fact about it. The moment if you're in an argument and you start yelling and screaming your head off, you lost.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And back to, like, what I'm saying is trying to keep my cool. Like, to learn that and to really understand, like, I've had people in my face screaming at me the last thing they want to hear is a monotone voice right back at them. They want to hear somebody else yelling back at them. They want to hear anger. They want to hear this. I mean, I'll hit them with, "Oh, I'm so sorry, sir. Like, we'll just deal with it a little bit next time," or something else. And one instance, I was working out at Seabrook, and there's been so many actually instances, but I was working out at Seabrook, and all of a sudden, this guy comes up to me and just starts screaming at me about all these different charges he has on this and this, and it was like my third or fourth day, and I was like, I just kind of looked at him, kind of tilted my head, and I was like, "I'm so sorry." And this is during COVID, so he was complaining about wearing a mask, he was complaining about everything, and I just kind of responded right back to him. It was like, "I'm so sorry, like, I can't do anything about it. Like, this is where I'm at with it. There's nothing I can do." And just starts screaming at me. And I mean, I just went right back to the boss, and the boss was Nick. And I went back to Nick, and I just sat down and we reviewed the tape because it was all on video. And he was like, "That's exactly what I do. I have so many people screaming at me that I just kind of just respond like this and just very politely try to go through with it." That's the last thing they're expecting if you're getting in their face.
Yeah.
I don't hate people who can't hold their cool, because that's a lot of people, including myself. But learning in a professional world to do that, and that's we see in politics all the time right now, in debates and in talks.
I do love the debates now because, like, the biggest thing I hate in Congress is we're not going to say this because of decorum. No, say it. Say it. Like, I love the debates. I wish the debates would have a little bit more policy than just insults, but also be fucking human.
Yes, that's
like,
the biggest
don't
part.
Be other, be a robot. These are my stances. These
Yeah.
are blah, blah, blah. Be fucking human.
Yeah.
Like, everyone nowadays, I think we were talking about last time, is like there's a big push for authenticity, and that's what people are grabbing for. Is like they want people to be more authentic. Look at why long form media has taken off, because you get to know a person. You listen to them talk and hear their ideas for hours.
Storytelling's the next thing. Like, storytelling is the thing, and it's going to consistently be the thing. Like, back to the Haven conference, the trip I just went on in Atlanta, that was a huge thing they were talking about, is how storytelling is so much more part of our life than we think it is. Like, growing up and everything, I mean, a lot of my YouTube videos I'd watch, it was just kind of them just playing a game, but there was always a story behind it, or there was always this behind it. Same with, like, my girlfriend, Cassidy, she loves Alex Earl. Well, half the time I hear Alex Earl talking about a story about what happened to her at this or this place, and they are not wrong. Storytelling and listening to people's authenticity is hard to find, people who are authentic, and it's also hard to find people who are authentic and consistently authentic. Because some people can easily put that mask on, and then right when the camera stops, they just take it right off, or it is so easy for people to do that. And that's something I've been working on myself, is making sure I'm authentic. And I think you very much are. Like, every single time I've talked to you, it's been not saying that you haven't changed, but I know what I'm going to get. Yeah. Like, you are very much of the individual to, tell me shit that I don't want to hear, but I do want to hear. Like, at the end of the day, like, I can't say, like, there's so many people that I wish I could say could do that for me. And you and I are good friends, but we're not like the best of friends. And hopefully we can get there. But, like, some of my best of friends can't even do that shit to me. And to have that is, like, it's rewarding for myself, and I hope for you too. Because why fake it? Like,
I'd rather tell you something that you hate, but you still know the truth, than lie to your face and tell you something that you want to hear. Yes. At the end of the day, I may be mad at someone if they tell me the absolute truth. Yeah. But at the end of the day, I'll be like, fuck, they're right. God damn it.
Yeah. Growing up in, like, middle school, high school, the school I went to was a private school. Thank you, Mom. Thank you, Dad.
I went to a public school. You see how I turned out.
No, you're great. You're literally kicking ass. Shut the fuck up. They were very gracious to let me go to private school where my mom was teaching, so that really helped. But, so many people from there. They learn from their parents. They're fake. I remember the first person, he actually transferred that year. And there was a girl I was talking to, and I thought it was going great. I thought it was going splendidly. And then all of a sudden, he comes up to me and goes, she's leading you on and she's telling everybody what you're saying to her. You're doing this and this. And I'm over here. I was betrayed. I thought he was, trying to start some shit with me. And because I'm used to everybody around me kind of, telling me what I wanted to hear.
Yeah.
And when he finally told me that was one of my first instances. And his name was Andre Hebra, if he's ever listening. I think I might have brought him up last time too.
Shout out, Andre.
He actually came up to me and he just straight up told me. And ever since then, and this is like 7th, 8th grade. So, I mean, middle school. And I learned so much just from that one moment. And I definitely look back at that specific moment consistently today. Not regretting it, but more so I've learned from it.
Yeah.
And then I know who to surround myself with, at least now.
Yeah, you at least get the vibe. If you're good at reading people, you can at least pick up a vibe.
Yeah.
I don't want to go in a spiritual aspect, but everyone gives off a frequency and a vibe.
They all have an aura, is what I say. Yeah.
They're the biggest thing which actually for you, as an example, completely spurred the pattern I had for the longest time is I never trusted people who smiled all the time.
Yeah.
I've known so many people who would openly smile, it would be a little bit too forced. So I'm be bland. Just show no emotion, do something. If you're smiling all the time, I don't trust you until I fucking met you. Mm-hmm. You were smiling all the time. But I was like, wait, I don't have the vibe that he's trying to fuck me over or do anything.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, no, because it blew me for a loop. I was telling my friend at the time.
Yeah.
And I was just like, because I'm big into patterns. I have the pattern recognition thing. Yeah. I'm like, this just fucking blew the pattern out of the water. God fucking damn it, Ed.
I'm an outlier.
You are. And I was like, he's so happy and nice. I'm like, but I don't get the untrustworthy aspect. Yeah. Because I
appreciate that is something my parents have always told me. And I mean, not even kidding you. They beat it into me. Mm-hmm. If you say something and you go off of it, that's your word. And today's day, the only thing you can give is your word.
Yeah.
That is something so hard to trust people on. And you're right. I try to smile. I try to smile as much as possible because there's other people that don't like to smile. There's other people that specifically, sit there and don't either know how to appropriately smile. It's easy just lifting up your cheeks, but it's situations. Mm-hmm. You don't know how to enjoy it. And that is something Cassidy has been kicking my ass with, is enjoying that moment. So that's really why if you see me smiling, I'm either trying to let myself enjoy the moment or let, whoever I'm with enjoy the moment.
Yeah.
And, you actually burn more calories frowning than you do smiling.
Yeah.
And it hurts your face more to frown than smile and everything. And so I just love seeing other people smile and other people do that. And so, but 100%, I've met some people who come up to me smiling, oh my gosh, it's great to meet you. It's great. I've heard so much about you. And then I feel that sliminess feeling.
Yeah.
And I feel gross and I got to take 2 showers after it.
It's weird once you figure out the vibe of someone or when you can actually read someone, it's so weird because you, if you get a weird feeling from someone, you can't place it or explain it to anyone because if they're good at doing that, they'll have a lot of the people convinced and you'll be the weirdo being like, why don't you trust him? Look, he's so nice. And then months down the road when eventually it will fade. Eventually they'll slip up and their true self will show. Mm-hmm. That, and then everyone's like, fuck, you were right.
Yeah, it happens. It's sad. But that's also learning. Part of life is learning. All of life is learning.
Mm-hmm. But it's also the human aspect of that. We are conditioned to sense danger.
That's true. Wow,
as humans conditioned to figure out where the danger is, avoid the danger. It's just a survival instinct that has stayed because we haven't evolved past the caveman era.
Yeah.
We still have a little bit Neanderthal brains, but that's why innately for some reason, we have a fear of the darkness. We have a fear of snakes. We have a fear of things that are unknown that we don't understand, like darkness. Snakes are always causing danger.
Yeah, all that type of stuff.
Yeah, people have a fear of death. Some people come into grips with death. It really depends. Because, I have a weird... thing with death where I don't fear it.
Yeah.
I'm not waiting for it either. But say
You're
like
cognizant of it.
like it's always there.
Yeah.
Like if say I have so many things to do and then it's just cut like that, I'm like, well, shit, all right.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's like every day you can face death, like no matter what.
Yeah.
You cannot wake up. You can get in the car and you can die at any moment. So for me, I've realized like, oh fuck, I can die. So I'm going to try to live out what I do, and if I don't get it, I don't give it.
Exactly.
Oh, well.
Exactly.
I'll see who's right in the end.
Yeah. 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 I mean, at the end of the day, you'll know, but that is so true because right now I'm dealing with the irrational fear of death. Like in high school and college, I was like, I would not make fun of. I'll say it. I guess I was making fun of those people who were scared of death because I was like, why are you scared of death? There's so many other things to be scared of and this and that. And now it's like, yeah. And now it's like, I can't even get on a flight because I'm thinking this shit's about to go down. You know, I have all this stuff at home that I still got to do. Like there's so many other things. Or even going out on a boat. Like we were on a boat on the lake, I think maybe 4 weeks ago. Well, one of my best friends growing up, she jumped into a lake and she got an amoeba up her nose and died.
Yeah, the brain amoeba thing?
Yes.
Okay.
And she was like one of the first cases.
Down in Edisto?
I want to say, I should know this, but my parents, so we were in France when it was happening. And my parents broke me the news literally on the plane back because what we were doing from the plane back was going to the funeral because they had like a procession and then all the funerals. So I was making the last thing as possible. I think it happened in Kentucky.
Okay. Because there is that like freshwater amoeba that's like
that's what it is.
Kill rate.
It's a freshwater amoeba. Any tepid or warm water it lives in. It has to be like the perfect degree. It's like 5 degrees like difference.
Yeah, and it's hard to detect. So
and if you detect it right when you get it, or if you start noticing symptoms, you're done.
Yeah, it's already too late.
It is. And so she was 10, 11, and that was my first concept of death. Is at an early age that my best friend couldn't come to my birthday party because she had died or because we were going into, I think it was 4th grade or 5th grade. We're going into 5th grade. Well, she isn't in my class anymore because she's now dead.
Yeah.
Like that was not something I could comprehend. And now I look back at it and I'm like, little Ed almost treated that shit like a champ.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I obviously was crying left and right when I was a kid, but I mean, the next day I treated it as the next day. Like and that's something I'm really working on, like I said, now. And Cassidy's been pushing me hard is trying to enjoy that moment right then and there and not focusing on death, not focusing on all this stuff. Because we have a trip to Iceland here September.
Ooh,
yeah,
sick.
I'm a best man in a wedding. And we're going and we're spending 9 days there. But I mean, I am freaking out about that flight. I am freaking out about all these different excursions we're going to do because we're hiking. We're going through all these different, just unique different things that we're going to be doing. That's going to be hella fun. Yeah. When I'm there, I'm going to, be so happy that I'm there. But every night since this trip has been planned for about 1.5 years, I've had a dream about me getting in an airplane, it crashing, me having another dream about being in a car, it crashed, so many different things crashing. That shit's awful. And I regret making fun of those people growing up because I am now one of those individuals.
I mean, it for me, it goes easier by just thinking it's out of your hand. Like,
yeah.
Airplane goes down, you can't really do much.
Yeah.
Like, it eases me that sometimes it's like, well, that's just my fate. That's it. That's the cards. The hands are dealt. That's it.
That doesn't bode well with me. Like, again, back to the HOA shit. I needed to be in control.
Yeah.
Why I started my own business. I needed to be in control. I am surprised I've lasted this long at Craft Express having a boss, but the only reason I have is because he's been so good.
Yeah.
But every other boss I've had in the past, including you, Dad, they've been great, but they have their business that they have to stand behind. There's just so many different things that is the unknown, and that unknown scares the living bejeebies out of me, but I'm excited to learn it. And that part of that unknown to me is death.
Yeah. I also go with the De los Muertos thing with death is
Yeah.
you don't truly die until you're forgotten.
Yeah.
So, like, I say I do pass on. Like, I hope,
I'll wear your shirt every day.
I hope that at least, like, I won't be forgotten. I don't even want to be like, no one's gonna fucking forget me at all. No, just like I have some stories, pass down the stories.
Yeah.
Shit's been fun. I like that. It makes it easier for death when I'm like, okay, I won't die until I'm forgotten. It's like the same as like throughout history. Like George Washington's been dead for years. We still talk about him along, even like passing down family stories. Like I'm pretty sure your family has had stories from like great ancestors that have been passed down, and you still remember them.
Like the sword and katana.
Yeah, like it. No one truly dies in my head until you are completely forgotten to time.
And that's great of you.
Mm-hmm.
Like that is where I want to get to.
I also have a weird brain compared to most people where like I'm not fascinated with death.
Yeah.
But death is interesting. I also love the rebirth after death.
Ooh.
Like I have the art style I like is very skeleton, very nature around it. Like my wallpaper is a skull with like flora and fauna growing out of it. It's just like even in death things live. I like that aspect of like the circle of life type shit, reincarnation, that type of stuff.
And it is hard for me not to think after I die. Not like I think after when I die, it's just nothing. Like, and that's unfortunately what I believe right now. I want to believe in God. I want to believe in all these different things because I believe it does give hope in the future. And I do believe in a God. I mean, how the fuck did we get here? You know, how it's.
I mean, even if you go with the scientific aspect of it, energy is neither created nor destroyed. It's just converted. So say, like, there's also been instances of people dying have weighed less than what they do, and people call that like the soul weight or whatever.
Yeah.
It like everything we are is just energy conversion. You're not really a person. You're just a brain piloting a giant flesh meat suit.
Exactly, and sending certain waves. You know, and I think one thing I actually found super interesting so Cassidy loves to call up the shrink, and the shrink is for the cats and for her horse. And we'll literally go in and talk about, and she will say back and forth about what Coral's saying or Reef's saying or her horse Wooter, and they'll say all these different things that she shouldn't know, like what times they wake up or what type of food we feed them or what we call them or just random different things. Well, she said, well, the way I contact them is through different waves, and we have a certain wavelength that we stick on, and once we're on that wavelength, then I can find them. Yeah. And so I like to think that in a way is because, I mean, everything, you know, light, sound, everything's waves. Like, I forget what type of waves, not UV waves, but it's
there's like radio waves, there's microwaves, there's sound waves, there's a whole bunch of different things.
Yeah.
There's frequencies that are like...
It's just different frequencies, and it's that aspect of things is like what I'm trying to focus on now is like, well, why did she say that? And so next time we have a meeting with her, I'm going to ask her a little bit more like, what do you mean you get on like their wavelength? And like... It is the weirdest thing. I did not believe in her. I still am somewhat skeptical, but when she was saying all these different things about like, she was just describing the picture so perfectly, like where we were. She was like, oh, Reef sees this, and y'all are just hanging out, sitting on the couch. You're wearing this shirt. You're wearing this. And both Cassidy and I kind of look at each other. We're like, you're talking to him. Like, this is weird.
You scroll through your Instagram to see if, like, any of the clothes match up.
Yes, to see. Yes, exactly. And that was my biggest thing. Like, did she go on our social media? Did she go this? And Cassidy has gone to her for probably 3 years now. And every single time it is still a shock. Like, her horse just got switched medicine. Oh, so you're on this medicine now. And I'm like, did she call up the vet? Like, did she? And I'm always against like her being true.
You have a skeptical nature too, which is nice to have. Like, you don't want to fully believe into something. But it seems like you've been. There's been aspects of it where they've just reinforced of like, how the fuck is she finding this out? Yeah. But it also goes back to like old like druidic and pagan stuff like auras and like being like one with nature, some people might have that frequency to it because humans are weird. We fucking adapt to the nature around us. Like, there in all legends, there's a hint of truth. So no matter what, there might be some aspect of like human life that we didn't know about. Because going to the conspiracy aspect of it, there's been like conspiracies that this isn't our first
go round.
Go round of this. We're just basically finding a different skill tree. Like, there's people that have thought that we've had like an apocalyptic event before, and humans had like a different technological skill tree. Where this one we're using like combustion engines and electricity. People think that back then we would have like vibrations and frequency, because it goes back to people wondering how the pyramids were made with the Egyptians. People think that they use sound waves to help float the blocks and put them into place. If you look under some of the pyramids and Sphinx, there's a whole bunch of chambers that will resonate at a certain frequency and sound. It's wild if you go into the rabbit hole of it. And I always take like a grain of salt from each of it. I don't fully believe in it, but it's interesting to hear, because who the fuck knows? We might have fully had to restart a few times. There's underground civilizations that we've found too.
And that's like, we're in an age where everything is, there's so many more questions than answers. And I think that's also like kind of the bliss about being a human, is to be able to find more questions. And to be able to ask those questions. And that's when those people who are passionate about those questions go into it and really do deep searches or deep dives. And it's like the Mars rover just uncovered, I think it was like this weird rock formation, but it looked like somebody had gone over and created this formation, and there was ice right next to it. And so many people, of course, are like, oh, that's like Arizona. Like, oh, man, you're in Sedona right now taking pictures, whatever. But I like to believe that we're actually getting images from the rover. And there's just tons of conspiracies about, people used to live on Mars. We came from Mars, and now we're on Earth. And
it goes back to, like, I think it's the Anunnaki. The, like, people who there's a theory that we basically had our evolution jettisoned by aliens, where we were basically monkey people, and an alien came in, added like an evolutionary aspect to it. From the whole thing is that we were made to mine gold, because gold is a rare substance in the rest of the universe, but we have it in a lot of aspects here. So also, I should say this is heavily fucking quoted that I'm just saying from what I read. I do not fully believe in these things, because I know how clips could be taken. So what people have been saying is that we mined the gold, we gave it to the aliens took it to their planet to make a sort of defense against solar radiation from the different planets and everything, which it does have the aspect of it, like, even when we like dropped a nuke, the wave frequency went out through the fucking earth. That's why like a lot of the alien sightings happened after we were testing nuclear bombs. Like, it's weird if you deep dive in the rabbit hole, and I have a lot, because I am curious, and those videos are really interesting to listen to on YouTube.
I mean, listen, I heavily believe in aliens. I heavily believe that there is an existence out there. I hope there is. Like, I mean, if we were alone in this universe, I think that would be scarier than having aliens.
I mean, even the sheer probability of it, whatever happened here, we have a likely chance that it could be replicated somewhere else. Like, it's just probability and statistics that you can reach the same conclusion on the right amount of luck and everything happening. Like, the right slots have to hit, and it can hit multiple times.
Exactly. And it's like, they just found out, I don't want to say this incorrectly, but maybe like 2 months ago, they found out like a way for cells to split again. And that's only happened, the most recent time it happened is with us, I think, like, or with our cells.
I'm trying to remember, because it's like, DNA and mRNA are two replicating cells that make us who we are.
But my point I'm trying to make is basically like those things had to happen correctly. And like the Dyson spheres, like there's been tons of speculation about certain stars or certain suns that have different planets revolving around them have this Dyson sphere to conduct energy for those planets. And scientists now recognize that as a true thing. And when they see those different images from space, all of a sudden you can see the star and then you don't see it for a few days and then you can see it again. That's when that speculation occurs. And that's only in our mindset. We think that's how it works. It could be so different if you would actually go there. But it's like I feel like we're here, and for those who are just listening, I'm just putting my fists inside the other hand. But we have so much left to explore, obviously, but so much left to learn about other places. We have such not a single mindset, but a mindset of how things work when they could totally be wrong.
That is a lot of like the scientific and historical professors and historians. They're locked into this whole scientific discovery or historical discovery that they've set their whole life on, and it's really hard for them to say, hey, I have this wrong when a new idea gets put in.
Yeah.
So it goes back to even like the HOA, like people, they've made their whole life this one thing and have a hard time just letting it go to other open ideas.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people not having an open mindset, be like, hey, I can be wrong. Hey, this, like, it's very selfish and individualized like aspect of it, which I understand, because if you set your whole life on something and someone comes in and it's like, hey, you know how you've been thinking for like the past 50, 60 years? Hey, that is completely wrong. I have this thing. You're not going to take it great immediately, because it would throw in like the self-doubt of like, what has been my life?
Right, yeah.
Like, what is my life's purpose? To pass butter. Damn.
Yeah. Oh, just the sadness. Dude, I'll change the subject here. I
was about to say, bringing up like different worlds and everything. You have a new aspect into the world of Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, so I've been playing Dungeons and Dragons more.
Great segue.
I'm a huge fan of Dungeons and Dragons, and I think was Baldur's Gate out last time we were chatting?
I think it just got, the early access was out. I don't know if it was full release.
And so I've been playing that, like Act 1, guess how long it took me?
I want to say about 20, 30 hours.
44 hours.
Better question, who did you romance?
I don't have anyone.
Really?
I completely forgot about that. I forgot about that. If anybody, though, obviously Shadowheart.
Shadowheart was the first one I went with.
Yeah.
But I'm more Karlach.
Really? So.
Oh yeah.
I'm playing with one of my buddies, and I want to get. We're just gone to the Goblin Camp. I want to get, what's her name? Mizora. I want to get her.
Yeah.
I want to try to get, because I killed her my first playthrough.
Oh, you're going to get the sloppy toppy.
Oh god.
Yeah. Dude, Campbell was doing a dirge run of it.
Yeah.
And that scene, the romance scene, comes up, and he has the most like dumbest looking character, just like getting sloppy toppy from her. I'm like, I fucking hate this,
dude.
Because he sent me a screenshot of it, and he was playing a dwarf. I'm like,
a dwarf.
So he's on a stool. It's not even like the person standing. He's on a fucking stool. I'm like, I hate this image so much, because I think he had like a pink afro and like a green mustache.
He's just looking stupid.
I'm like, God damn it, Campbell.
Yeah, so you did Shadowheart. Who else? And then Karlach.
I did Shadowheart, and then if you saw the clip, I accidentally skipped through Riel's dialogue because I'm like,
yes, and then he accidentally had sex with her.
Yeah, and then Shadowheart said no. Then I'm like, okay, let me try Karlach, and I didn't build it up with Karlach, so Dave just fucked everyone else. And then I just recently like restarted Baldur's Gate again.
Yeah.
I'm going to try Karlach. I like her personality. She's just fun, goofy.
Yeah.
She's about to die, and she's just like, I'm gonna have fun.
That's what. So like, I'm in Act 2. I think I might be halfway through Act 2. Mm-hmm. And that shit honestly really helped me with Dungeons and Dragons. Mm-hmm. So like, one of my buddies who's always been our DM whenever we do it, he was just kind of like, let's try it. Let's just try it one more time. And because every single time we do one session and then we never pick it up.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay. So I created a air genasi artificer.
Nice.
So first time doing air genasi, and then I spent money on the artificer. So I was like, we're fucking getting back together. I spent a certain amount of money on this. We're getting back together. We're doing it. So we've had, I think, 3 sessions.
You want a whole bunch of free D&D materials?
I do, yes, of course. I love that shit. Like,
Send me your email. I don't have a Google Doc at all.
okay. So, yes, please, because I find that so much fun. And now it's like, he had been wanting to do probably 3 years ago this story that we're doing.
Yeah.
And it's basically like a Fallout. It's Fallout, and we just got out of the vault, and now we're just going into the city, whatever. And we're learning a lot more about the world right now, which I'm a sucker for lore. I'm a sucker for lore building and world building, but I want to be the dungeon master so badly. Like, I think I could create a great world. And the thing is, like, I'm great at creating that type of stuff on the fly, especially if you're like, all of a sudden you want to do this. And that's something that I've noticed with him is, like our most recent thing, we're in this little city and we're just trying to help the city and then go to another one. Well, in this city, there's these outskirts houses, and we had wanted to kill one of the people and behead the thing and drop the head on this person's doorstep. And the whole time he's like, I don't know if you should do that. And in my mind, I'm like, a dungeon master should just say yes and.
Yeah.
Like, that is their role.
They can give hints of, like, are you sure you want to do that?
Yes.
You can slightly hint them. Like, when I, like, DM, when you're done with that, I'll go into, like, my whole new thing of DMing. Yeah. Like, when you DM, like, you can give hints of, like, hey, this might not be the best idea if you really want to go through with it. Yeah. I hope you're good at your rolls are good. Yeah. Or else this will really not come in your favor. Yeah. Oops. But, like, I always do yes and I've had, like, a whole bunch of chaotic parties where I've had to get used to, like, okay, here's my plan. I heavily crafted this and molded it into, like, the perfect little world. And, hold on, what are you playing? Throw it away. Cracks. I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah, it happens. But that's part of a dungeon master's role, is to be able to adapt to that type of stuff. And I'm not saying that he doesn't do a good job. And if he's listening, Jake, you do a great job at it. But to play Baldur's Gate and then to do D&D, I felt like I was playing a whole new game, playing Dungeons and Dragons again. Because I understood the spells a lot better. I understood a lot more about distance. I understood movement and turns and everything, and how to roll correctly. Because, I mean, I would always have to ask, hey, how do I roll again for this? How do I do this? And now it's like D&D Beyond, all you got to do is just click on the button, and it does it for you. And that's so nice compared to you actually writing down the map.
Yeah, it's also like the Matt Mercer effect for D&D was a big thing when Critical Role became popular. Is a lot of people would watch Critical Role and then expect that level of like voice acting and that in their home games, which you have to dispel a little bit of that because we're not voice actors. Right. It isn't our job to make that. Yeah. But Baldur's Gate has helped a lot of people, one, understand the role, two, get everyone used to like the lore of D&D, because that is the hardest thing is just having people want to play, having people be like, hey, this is fun. Even like the 2 new players from the other group that I'm DMing for, they played Baldur's Gate and wanted to actually play D&D. So my buddy Eric was like, hey, I have a friend that DMs. Yeah. I can go text him and be like, hey, do you want to start up another campaign? So I'm running a game with Eric and these 2 guys in the world of Astos that I created. At the same time with Kyle and the other group, our campaign just ended that Kyle was running. So I'm running Astos with them, and I turned it into a West March campaign where I have 2 different campaigns going on at the same time. Ooh. And say this group can affect the world, and it might have an effect to this group, or this group can do something in the world and it might affect that group.
It's pretty cool.
It's interesting. It's a lot. I have so many documents that I have to keep track of. But it's an interesting aspect of it because I sort of thinking like towards the end of the campaign when everything's starting to wrap up, I can pull both of those groups together to be like, hey, there's this final boss fight. This one group's off in this way, this one group's off in that way, and it will be like a cool mixing of different parties. I'm only like one session in with Kyle's group and about 4 sessions in with the other group. So I just tied Kyle's group to be like, okay, this is the point they're at. This is when you're starting, just to make everything easier in that aspect.
Do you have like, how often do you think people, do you do level up by XP or by
Milestone? I am solely a milestone because I like the story of a game.
Yeah.
I don't like okay, I have to set this many enemies for your to kill to get the XP. I usually go by, so I started D&D with a lot of podcasts like Critical Role, NADPod, Dungeons and Daddies, and they always leveled up after like main story arcs. So I've always, how I make my games is I plan out the arc of where they're going, have like a level up. Say you fight like a sub boss, like you might level up, and then once you fight the main villain of the arc, you'll get another level up. That's
a good way to do it.
I'm a very like story heavy DM. Like I'll have combat in there when combat makes sense, or say if the players are in a bar, it's like I don't like how he talked to me. Glass break. Okay, well, yes, everyone's fighting. Roll initiative.
Yeah. I like that though. I mean, like, so we do it off of XP, and we're 2 sessions in, and I think I'm already level 3. I feel like I might be leveling up too fast, but at the same time, like, I'm an air genasi, which means, and an artificer, which means I can start building more and more stuff.
Make a nuke.
And I love making stuff. And reason why I said yes to do this session or the campaign, Dungeons and Dragons campaign, is because I wanted to finally be a genasi. Because so many times we started and then I go, oh, that's too difficult to like read. I know everything about this. You need to be more so this. And so I think I would always kind of be a druid because I liked shape-shifting. But the air genasi is like, you can hear throughout the wind. You can hear, it's so many different little.
You can still be a druid while being an air genasi.
You can.
Actually, sorry. I had to
sorry, no.
No, druid's my favorite class playing because it's a very like utility caster. Like
it is.
When I play a class, I either play druid, cleric, or rogue. My rogue is when I want to be fucking unhinged. I know how to stack damage with that. I usually go by like the party dynamic. I'm the last one to make my character because I don't want to be like the person that is. You have to be a cleric, so change your whole thing and you be a cleric because we need a healer. So I wait for everyone to basically make their characters, to be excited about their characters. I'm like, hey, you know what? I'll make this. This is what will fit the party dynamic because I do not have any attachment to my characters because being a DM, all my characters die. So I'm like, okay, he's dead. Cool. I even thought like an idea. I was like, it would be funny if I was a barbarian and I could instantly die if I was stung by a bee. Like, that would just be, like, a funny thing. It's just, like, telling the DM, just, I don't care if my character dies.
I like, though, because he's also taking inspiration from Baldur's Gate. So it's like, we have times where it's just myself and the Dungeon Master, and he'll be like, what do you want to do? So it's kind of figuring out where you're, like, you know how it's chaotic, neutral, lawful, good. What is that called?
Alignments.
So it's like that really helps his alignment and understand like our intentions in the game because like I specifically am running it to be kind of a little bit devious.
Yeah.
Like I'm a good guy on the outside, but on the inside, like I'm the reason why all the shit's happening around us, or I'm the reason, you know. So there's so many other different things, and I love doing that. I love adding because that's lore building, that's world building, and he's done a great job with like, and I mean, I have a whole journal full of
notes,
and
everything.
Well, because you got to take notes, because a lot of my friends will take notes, but like, and I look over, I'm like, oh, those aren't good enough, because I've played it a few times and I know what's going to be useful and what's not. And so like, I mean, I'll write everything down at the end of the session. I'll take a picture, send it to everybody. Everybody will like ask questions about it. But I'm itching to play it again. Our last time we played, I think was last week, 2 weeks ago, maybe last week. But I enjoy getting people who also like, I have a buddy, his name's Michael, and he's not the type of person I would see him play this. He's very much of like a Call of Duty type of guy. goes out, sports, hell yeah, Seahawks, whatever. I don't know. And he's very much of that type of guy. And then I got him into the D&D world, Dungeons and Dragons world, and I just saw like nerdy side of him come out.
Yeah.
And I get to see that a little bit with him because I kind of grew up with it. Not even kind of, I did grow up with him since kindergarten, and he and I've never lost contact, which is great. But to see him like kind of take a step back from his cool guy persona, or like his because he's trying to be a lawyer, so he's like very he's a legal realist at the end of the day. And but to see him, he was actually the guy who brought up the beheading, and he was like, let's do that, let's do it. I'm over here like, oh, you're like getting creative.
Yeah.
Not saying that beheading's creative, please God, don't say that.
It's a way around an issue.
Yeah.
It's always, you can take creative liberties with beheading, like it helps with intimidation rolls. Nothing's more intimidating
Or
than
Reddit
losing
posts.
Or that too.
No. But to see him do that, I love to see. Same with another kid named Brian. Like, he thinks he's the coolest fucking kid on the block, and then he goes into Dungeons and Dragons and he's a Dragonborn, and his Dragonborn Paladin, and his ass gets beat the first motion he does, and he's like, why can't I do this? Why can't I do this? And you have to basically become a whole new person. Mm-hmm. Again, why I like acting and I like doing that type of stuff is to get your mindset in a whole new person's mindset and to just kind of role play. And I love that aspect. I was not expecting that from them. I mean, sometimes they'll give me fun voices to go along with their characters, to do this and this. And I'm over here talking like this as my Air Genasi. And they're over here adding, I can't even do a British accent, adding British accents and everything.
Hello, mate. Cheerio.
Is that
Not toss my tea in the harbour.
But like, I wish I could do those type of accents, but it is, I love seeing that. And that's something Dungeons and Dragons is something that does it very well. And my dad used to play it when he was growing up, and his dad definitely didn't. But it's something that tons of people have been into for a long time, and it's only evolving. Like, they're on 12th edition right now.
5th.
Oh, God, my bad.
12th edition will be in year 3000.
Yeah, jeez.
Make it that long. No, it's 5th edition. Now they're moving to like D&D 1, which is their edition where they can basically just keep changing stuff over and over again because it's online.
Yeah.
So basically, instead of like having all the rules written on 5th edition, then you have to wait until like say 6th edition to like update some of the rules, change some things. D&D 1, you can throw it out into the world already. Like they've moved like a whole bunch of different stuff with D&D 1 on like how the different like games change, which also like the DM can do a whole bunch of homebrew stuff. Like me personally, I do the cleave rule where if you're fighting a whole bunch of like tiny little fodder minions, if say he has like 3 HP left and you swing for 12 damage, 3 will be taken out, then it'll go to one that's immediately next. I also do you can do a bonus action to chug a healing potion. You'll have to roll for that, but if you do your full action, it will be full healing. Yeah. Because I like to make people think tactically of it as like, okay, should I attack? Should I risk like getting the health potion and then attacking, but I might receive a little bit less health and everything. It's also, I don't really go off of the alignment system because I personally love to test my players' alignment, because you can have characters that are like, I am good no matter what. Yeah. I want to be solely good in the world, a beacon of hope. I want to find the one thing that'll make him be like, I want to really fucking kill that character. Yeah. I did that in my first campaign, and it was Kate was playing a blood hunter, and she was like nice, good person, and then I was just being an asshole with him, being like, yeah, well, I don't want you. I'll sell you the cart, about 200 gold. It's like over and over again, just dude being like disrespectful. Yeah. She's like, can I fucking murder this guy? I'm like, yes, I broke her.
Please go. Yeah.
Like, yes. I am testing your alignment.
Do you do it in person or do you do it over Discord?
We do it in person because it's a lot better. It's the same why like I love doing podcasts in person better than over Discord, because like so much can be lost with bad internet connection, lag, and everything. If you have like person to person, you can really read the room, and like I like person a lot better than online. I feel like you miss a lot online than person.
100%. I love, and like I freaking hate how busy I am, because it's like they're all like, oh, I can do it now, or I can do it tomorrow, or a Tuesday at 12 p.m. And I'm over here like, shit, Vic's got me up in the warehouse right now working. I can't do that. It's just different things like that. But or I've got a large order I've got to get out. I mean, that is unfortunately where I've been at for 8 months, 9 months.
I texted you like a month ago trying to get you back on.
Yeah.
Then you were like, July is when I can. End of July, I'm like, okay, cool. Have you on there, scheduled you.
And if I don't respond, like, I hate that shit. I have so many things. Guess how many emails I have that I've not even opened yet?
300.
35,696.
God damn, dude.
And 2 of those, so I have, I think, 10 emails. 2 of those are spam. The other 10, I mean, I consistently try to go through and update and delete.
I mean, you're a busy person to begin with, so
I hate it.
even like when I'm texting you, it's like, okay, I might not hear back from for like a few days,
long while, yeah.
but I'll be like, he will eventually get back to me. I at least like I know you're busy. I know that aspect of you. That's why I'm just like, I'm not like, hey, why aren't you texting me?
Yeah, well, that's nice of you because I'm not.
I'm also busy as shit. Like even Chase is pointing out, he's like, I notice whenever I text you, I can get do text, and then gone for hours. I'm like, you caught me at the right moment, and then I'm either like sleeping, really invested into Stardew Valley, or editing.
I love Stardew
Dude,
Valley.
Campbell and Cameron, I got playing Stardew.
Nice.
And we have a farm called Muscle Mommy Farm.
Hell yeah.
We've been running it, and they've been learning Stardew. I got them into certain mods too.
How far in? Oh, really?
We just hit winter.
Okay.
And we're already at like half a million gold.
Damn, good.
I go to the mine. Cameron farms, Campbell fishes all day.
That's nice to have that type of. I got Cassidy into Stardew Valley. I think for like maybe 6 hours. Cassidy's heavy into Minecraft right now.
I love Stardew because it scratches the task itch. Like I'm very task oriented. Like if I have a checklist, do. Perfect. It's like I have to go do this. Harvest the farm, get the animals, go fish for a little bit. Okay, I don't want to fish anymore. Let me go to the mine because I have some things I have to. Like it is very like. I love tasks.
I love the music. Stardew Valley's music is.
It is so relaxing and calming.
Yeah, I will consistently play, especially wintertime music. I will play their wintertime soundtrack on repeat if I'm working or if I'm doing something. Not because it's like, it's one of those that you like headbang or whatever. It's one of those that it's almost nostalgic with the music. It is such a nice, it's like old Pokemon games, like the first area, the first village you're in. I heard, yes, I heard Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, the Lake song. And I was like, I literally played that over and over, and I even was like, Cassidy, this song is just so good. And she was just like, okay, like she knew where it was from, and so she instantly thinks that type of stuff. But I love soundtracks, and music is something I think can make or break games.
Even when I was doing the D&D podcast, like I made sure to have like the sound match like what's going on. Like say in like the old D&D podcast, like they're on a ship, I would have like crashing of waves in the background.
That's a great way to do it.
Audio mix it a little bit. It took a lot of editing, but it was like satisfying to listen to. Or like say they were going through a cave or a sewer, you would hear like a little bit more echoey. You'd hear like drips. Like
it's a world building.
Yeah, it's cool, and I miss doing the D&D podcast. It sucks because obvious reasons why it didn't.
Yeah.
We had to stop it.
Well, now you got a tavern.
Yeah, I do have a tavern. I still do have Stuck in the Dungeon in the back of my pocket just for later.
If you ever do that and like need people, I would love to either be a regular or a reoccurring guest on that because D&D that is just. It's a special place in my heart. It's weirdly fun.
It is.
Like
once you realize you can do anything.
Yes.
It's like the little like once you're like, hey, can I do this? Oh wait, I can. It just opens up everything because even like the dumbest ideas, you're like, let me see if it works, and then you roll for it. It might work. It might not work.
Yeah.
Even if you have like a DM that like is the rule of cool DM is like, hey, you have this idea. This is how you could do the roles to make sure it works. I want to work with you to make sure you try at least to get that goal out. It's fun, and a lot of the people that I have been playing with are like fresh to D&D. So
Ooh, that's good. I like earlier players, like that type of stuff. That's to get people like that's pretty cool.
Yeah, because I'm not saying I'm an enigma when it comes to DMing, but I'm not that harsh of a DM. I like having fun.
You're open.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's a story that everyone else adds to it, and you're just coming into my world along with your world. Like, I tell my players, like, if you have something you want to add to the world, add it.
Yeah.
Like, I want this to be yours as much as it is mine.
Yeah.
So, like, all the players, I'm like, come up with a backstory. What town are you from? Add some people in there. Give your character something to work with.
That's the Brian kid. He was like, "Oh, I want my Dragonborn to be from," I think he said Argentina, and he was like, "Well, Argentina's not in this world. Like, Argentina's not a real thing."
Fantasy Argentina.
Yes, then that was my thing. Is like, well, make it into it. Yeah. Like, make it part of your world and make it, just build around that. Don't just say no.
Yeah.
Like, let it be a part of what it is. I'm just finishing this. I see you're.
I just finished it for the first time. That's probably all I'm gonna have because it is a pretty strong drink. Like, I'm already feeling it a little bit.
Yeah. I'm not like a drinker either.
I only drink during the podcast mostly.
Yeah, really.
Like, I'll occasionally have like a twisted tea. I have a few in my fridge.
Yeah. Those are so good. Oh my gosh.
But I know last time you were on the episode, you had like notes of anything. Like, of the past episodes, like questions you have.
Yeah.
Do you have any more of that?
I was more so I really was listening to first off, was it Christina? Christina sometimes goes by Chris.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Mushrooms and everything. That shit was nuts.
No, Addie was mushrooms.
Addie. When I heard that shit, I was like, I literally stopped what I was doing and I looked right over to because there's I think maybe one of your second or third ones with the camera. And I was looking at the camera. I was like, go on, waiting for her to talk because she was.
Addie was audio. Christina was a camera. Addie was. I'm trying to think. I don't think Christina talked about mushrooms.
It was like when she was growing up in Canada.
No.
Was it Canada?
Addie was in Washington. Christina's from here. I think you're talking about Addie. But she was audio only.
Okay. Well, then.
Addie was the one that did mushrooms, was divorced, went to Florida.
Yes.
Yeah, that's Addie.
Okay. I was so shocked to hear that because, that's probably one of the drugs, or I don't even, do you call it a drug? What do you.
I mean, technically it is a drug, but it's a psychedelic.
Yeah.
Anything that's naturally of the earth.
Yeah.
It is a drug, same as caffeine and nicotine is a drug, but it's also naturally of the earth. It's just a chemical product. Once you start going into synthetic drugs, that's when the problem happens. But I think anything of the earth is fine.
There was for some reason this just reminded me, but in Survivor, one of the seasons, I think it was season 14 or 13, one of the earlier seasons, they were on the beach and all of a sudden, and it was probably still to this day, I would find it the most, uncommon group of individuals together in the final 6 or 7. And all of a sudden they just see cocaine wash up on the shores. And this one guy who joined, and he was like, today's my first day of stop smoking cigarettes. And this is the same guy. If you ever watch Survivor, his name's Shane. He is nuts. He pretends a piece of rock is his BlackBerry, and he's talking to a BlackBerry, and he's threatening all these people on the island to kill him after the game.
Jesus,
if he doesn't, right. It was bad. And the story is, him and the future winner of the game find this basically box of cocaine, and he just starts snorting it left and right, and doesn't know if it's lace, doesn't know if it's this and that. And he was like, that's honestly what got me through the next half of the game, is the cocaine and everything.
Honestly fair.
I don't think I could. I mean, with ego death and all, with mushrooms specifically, that shit would kind of mess me up. Like, I think that's something I will never try, but I will happily babysit someone, to do that. But when she was saying the amount that she was doing and how consistent it was, I was like, and you're sitting there, and she's sitting there talking perfect sentences, and I mean, like, she looked perfectly fine. I was like,
Yeah, she was doing a hero dose. I was like, I had to have her like explain it, but even like going back and editing, like the way she was describing like her trips and how vivid it was, I'm like, holy shit!
like the goo world and everything.
I was like, holy shit! Like, you need to be a storyteller.
Yes, that.
Like, I want to have Addie back on along with her roommate Christina, because those two, not Christina, Alyssa.
Yeah.
Those two are like a dynamic duo.
Yeah.
Dynamic duo that I knew like through high school.
Oh, jeez.
But I've had like so many like interesting people on. Like,
yeah, you have.
Even your episode, I've had Addie, I've had Chase on, Bryce on.
Who was the other rugby player?
Liam.
Yeah, Liam and Liam. That's what it was.
Liam was the first video episode I did.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Because like with that episode, I realized like I had to mount the cameras not on the set. Because like the moment anyone would move anything, it would just shake.
Just shake the camera.
Yeah. So you see like a lot in the video, like the video would shake. So after that, I'm like, okay, I need to mount it to other places. So they are currently there and there.
I found that funny as hell. How you're like, anybody else named Liam? Like anybody like our age, Liam, whatever. I thought that was because that same shit happens with Ed. Mm-hmm. I only know 70 and 80-year-old Eds.
Yeah.
I've never met any young person named Ed still to the day.
There's a lot more Liams now because of Liam Payne from One Direction. A lot of Liams in pop culture.
I've never met a Liam except for you.
Yeah, well, hopefully I'm starting off your Liam impression good.
Yeah, for sure.
Andy was another interesting one I had on. I had public speaking with him, and we started talking because of stand-up comedy, and then we just became friends. It's interesting. I'm editing the episode with Gupton now. After that is my coworker Robert and Andrew, and then you. But yeah, it's been fun. I like having weird people on, like people that talk, share any bullshit.
Is there anybody that you're like wishing?
I have a few. I have a few that I want to get on, but I'm not going to ask until like fall or winter time when it cools down a little bit.
Yeah.
Because it's easier to ask my friends to come on when I'm like, hey, it's going to be a hot garage. Yeah. It's easier to do that for people like I'm known and been friends.
It's not too bad. We're in the middle of summer right now too.
Yeah, middle of summer. It was a lot worse like other times. Yeah. It's easier to ask like friends, be like, hey, it's going to be a hot garage. Just suffer for it for like a couple hours. I promise you it will be fun. But like I have a few local business owners that I want to have on around like wintertime. Nothing's set in stone yet, so I don't want to say any names.
Right.
But I have some ideas.
Yeah, I would love to. I mean, I try to keep up with this as much as possible, and I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago, I like went back to see like the last one I had watched was, I think it was like your third one with the camera, and I was like, crap, he's added a few more, like added a lot more after that. And then on Instagram, obviously I get all the Instagram posts, and any of those that I see that I'm like, I either resonate with or something, like I'll repost that and I'll say like, go follow whatever.
Yeah.
But to have a podcast, I was just talking to one of my coworkers, Heather. I was like, I would love being on podcasts, but the amount of work you have to do behind the scenes to run it, it's something that people I don't think understand that want to start a podcast need to have. And it's like people who do have a podcast, like a Barstool or something, they have those editors or they have people to do it for them. Mm-hmm. And that's the type of stuff that like we don't have people to do it for them.
No, like it's a lot of YouTubers starting out too where they have to edit their own videos.
Yeah.
My sister told me about this like schedule poster, which has helped out a lot, so I don't have to go on like my first break and like copy and paste to like 3 different platforms. I can just put the draft there, send it out to whatever.
Oh, that's nice.
The only like downside with that is I can't add any like audio, like on TikTok and Instagram Reels. You get popular by using like popular audio and just turning it all the way down. Which I'm fine with. I don't need or want to blow up currently.
Yeah.
I'd rather have like a gradual growth of like, hey, it's getting a little bit more followers, keep growing, keep growing. I'd rather have that like steady increase
Like
than
loyal
just
followers.
immediately like shoot up like any of the uh it like the TikTok people who blow up and then just fade out.
Yeah.
Like I'd rather, if I have this success because I want to do this for the rest of my life, like I'd rather have like a steady increase so I can like be like, all right, cool. I need to focus more energy into the podcast. I'm getting a little bit more from it. Let me do some stuff that can add on, like say I get more popular, I start adding more content, I'm able to focus more into it, which I want to steadily do.
Right.
But even at the end of the day, like I've said multiple times, if this doesn't take off at all, if I'm still like same amount of followers, I would still do this.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
it's still,
that's good. That's good.
It's still fun. I've always loved talking to people. I've always loved hearing stories from people, like sharing ideas and everything. Like even if say I'm not making money from it, I could see myself in like 5-10 years still
Doing it.
Yeah.
Nice. And that, I mean, it's also memories for you.
Yeah. Plus, I think I've said in my dad grandfather's episode, like my original plan from this was a lot of the Duffies were dying off, like getting old and dying off, and with them, stories die too.
Yeah.
So I wanted to have this so I can have like a hard aspect of like stories that can be passed on.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's
Part of the reason why I call it Duff's Tavern. One is because my name, two because like the original inspiration was to get all the Duffies in a room and just talk.
Yeah.
And have that like recorded and be like, hey, for the future, like here's your ancestors.
Right. And I mean, that's like a lot of stuff I see now is like get to know your parents before they die. And it's like people are trying to sell books with asking questions and all this type of stuff. And I'm like, it's kind of sad where we've gotten to try to get to know our family, but sometimes you have to sit down with a camera and say, tell me, just tell me like where you're from. I just found out my grandfather's background maybe a year ago. Like he finally was open to it on his 80th birthday. He was finally open to it to just tell us his background and everything, and especially history for me and history for the Sessions family. We aren't technically the Sessions, we're the Smiths, and it's so unique to hear, and I'm not going to go too much into it because it's very personal for them, but to know that we're one of the first Sessions is actually really cool to kind of understand. Or when I say first Sessions, there's obviously like Jeff Sessions and so many other Sessions out there, but in our side of things, I find family history to be something that should definitely be deep rooted into other individuals. But I mean, then there's also people who hate their family, want the exact opposite of what we want, and want to get away and make their own stories and make their own life, and that's perfectly fine. But that's also great to hear.
There's also like a lot of things that die with not being passed down, like a whole bunch of family recipes, a whole bunch of family history that ends up not happening like the moment the person dies from it. So I love the storytelling aspect of humanity because things get passed on. Even like, say I don't pass on my bloodline, like I still would like to pass on my ideals, my character and stuff like that, because I feel like that's a better thing than passing on like my last name.
Yeah.
Is being like passing on, this is the type of person that is a good person to be. Not saying I'm the best person, but like.
but it's also another way for individuals to get to know you. Like, I think, back to the fear of death, like, I'm afraid about people forgetting me.
Yeah.
And for those stories to be passed down, I mean, a man does not die the day he's poisoned or the day he's killed, but he dies the day that his story's forgotten.
Exactly.
Or his name's forgotten.
That's what I was saying earlier.
Yeah. That's a One Piece quote for you. I just got onto that, actually, One Piece.
Welcome to the poison.
Yeah,
that's what got me into anime. Which that was cut out of the whole last episode, is us talking about anime.
Yeah, I guess it was, because Jujutsu Kaisen was it finished? Season 2 was finished?
No, season 2 just. I'm caught up. I'm fully caught up, even with the manga.
Yes, okay.
Even with the manga.
Spoiler alert, real quick. What do you think about Yuji hitting that domain expansion?
So what I've seen online with that is it's been predicted the whole time of the train.
Yeah.
It's going to be the train, and Yuji's going to sacrifice himself along with
That's
Sukuna.
what I've heard too. And it's like the memory implants. Like, see, I've heard it's like this is going to be his last time alive. To, his curse technique is like memory implants or something. And so I'm like, every single time I think I've got it, Gege just turns it around and like just 180s my whole thought process and is so wrong.
But like, even like I think we were talking about last time is like my favorite animes are the one where people have no plot armor.
Yeah,
like Jujutsu Kaisen, anyone can die. Demon Slayer, I
Yes.
just caught up on that.
I just started watching that.
Anyone can fucking die.
Yeah.
Like it got to the point where like I like this one character. I'm like, do they survive?
Oh no!
He does.
That's like Nabara when she died. Like I remember,
Which just got confirmed that she was actually dead because I was up in the
Yeah.
air and Gege was like, yeah, she's dead.
she's yeah. He was like,
gone.
what do you mean? She's long gone. Yeah, yeah.
She had a hole blasted in her head by we know who.
Yeah,
that shithead.
Yeah, yeah, really. But like Cassidy, that's the first and I think only anime she'll ever watch. I'm trying to get her into Mob Psycho because I just watched Mob Psycho. Have you seen it?
2 episodes.
It is.
I don't really like that along with One Punch Man.
Yeah, like the ultimate power sort of thing. I like it because it's also like character development and not just the main character, but it's like the side character. There's like two kind of side characters. That one side character, like Reagan, I think is his name. And I mean, it's 3 seasons. I like it because they stopped it. And they knew that they couldn't go on to a 4th or 5th. Like, they stopped it because the storytelling, season 1 was kind of slow. 2 and 3, I mean, like, I was just kind of hit. I was like, wow, this is so much different from season 1. I mean, so many of my friends have said the same thing. I stopped after season 1.
Yeah.
You've gotta pick it back up because it's also like there's a lot of life lessons in the last season too. That's unique in those animes because you don't get a lot of those.
Vinland Saga is another good one.
I've heard of it. I haven't watched
You
it.
need it. It is the first season is completely separate from the second season. It is one of those life lessons.
Yeah.
Cyberpunk Edge Runners.
Yes, of course.
Fucking amazing. It got me back into playing Cyberpunk because
Yeah,
I had it. I'm like, this is shit. Then I watched Edge Runners. I'm like, fuck.
Gotta play it. Gotta play it.
I'm going back. All right. I just beat Phantom Liberty DLC.
Did you really? Do you
Yeah.
like it?
I liked it a lot.
What way did you go? Did you turn in at the end of it?
So, spoilers. I originally betrayed Reed
Yeah.
and went
Yeah.
with Songbird.
Wow.
And then I gave Songbird up at the end.
Yeah. Oh man. Okay.
Because, like, I get there was only one cure, but I was also like, the FIB can help him.
Yeah.
And it's also Songbird's gonna die. I hate the fact that she'll be used as a weapon.
Yeah.
But
I mean that's kind of like what
there
Cyberpunk
was
is,
no
though.
winner. There was
Yeah,
no fucking
yeah,
winner.
yeah.
In any of the like endings, there was no fucking winner. And I felt so bad because like Johnny was like, "This is it."
Yeah.
And then waking up and being like, "Yeah, Johnny's out, but you have no cyberware anymore. You're basically done." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Well, fuck."
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like I should have just kept Johnny.
Yeah, I not even played the DLC. I love that game so much. I'm still stuck. My game is still glitched in the same spot even after these patches, and I refuse because I'm so far into it. I refuse to replay it.
Have you loaded a previous save?
I've loaded everything. I've done everything.
Try to download some mods for it.
I'm on Xbox.
Oh yeah, you're one of those people.
Yeah, I am.
Just jailbreak your Xbox.
Okay, all right. I'll do it real quick.
Yeah,
real quick.
just jailbreak it.
Did you
You'll be
hear
fine.
about the most recent Xbox thing? That
The
just
power outage? The
well,
giant.
that too. They deleted. So I've been clipping since Xbox One, like on Xbox. I clip shit, and I mean I had over 500 clips. They deleted it all in one day
Jesus.
on everybody's account. They said, I think it was 24-hour warning. They said, if you want your clips to be saved, just know we're about to delete them. We're trying to save room on our side of things.
Yeah.
I mean, I was in the midst of getting all these clips together to like create a montage because like my friends were sending me clips, everything. And I mean, I consistently would sit down if I have any moment, I would just look up my captures and just watch a capture or two of like 30 seconds. And like, damn, I used to be good at Call of Duty, or damn, like Overwatch used to be nice. And now they deleted all of them.
Shit.
Every single one of them they deleted. I'm pissed. I'm hell bent on trying to get everybody on PC now. I'm like, PC shit. Like they wouldn't do that. Like they can't do that.
Yeah.
Like that. Oh.
If you're trying to convince people to go to the PC, send them the Build Redux website.
Yeah.
That's what that's what I got Kyle on PC with. That's what I do my PC with, because it's easy. It's easier to be like, hey, you just have to pay $77 a month for 3 years instead of dropping $2K immediately.
Or not having to build your own.
Yeah.
This is where it is.
Yeah, it's built. It's not like one of those pre-builds that have like iffiness.
Yeah.
Like, get a pre-build if you're dipping your toes into PC.
Mm-hmm.
If you like PC, build it yourself.
Yep.
If you know how to do it, or if you don't trust yourself, Build Redux is amazing.
Yeah.
You can immediately like customize different components you want from it.
Yep.
They will build it, test it, ship it to you, and you just pay monthly for it. I think this is my 3rd year of having it. I haven't had to upgrade anything.
Really?
I can still play all the games at like high quality. Or
Do you still play? Because I was in that Discord for like, I think maybe 2 days.
Mhm.
Like the Lethal Company. I thought that Lethal Company game was so much fucking fun. I had way too much fun with that game. I miss PC gaming.
Mhm.
I have not. I think I turn on my PC just to update it, because I'm like, I'll sit down and I'll play it.
Yeah.
And then it's like, once it finishes updating, it's like 11:30 or something, and I'm like, I mean, bags under my eyes have bags. I'm like, okay, I can't do this, and I hate that, because I used to be able to like stay up until 3 a.m., 4 a.m. playing games, and then the next day go to school. But that's also when I had school a little bit later and practice later. And now it's like, now I have to be up at this time to do this shit.
I tap out around like midnight mostly.
Yeah.
Just like I have friends that get on late at night, but like through the week I can usually play until midnight or do whatever until midnight. But I usually like cap out and go to bed around. I feel old saying that.
Yeah, no, I'm that same way. I'm like, we used to have 8 people on consistently from 9 to 2 the whole time, and now just to get somebody on at 10:30, I mean, it's like pulling a kid's tooth. Like, it's so difficult. There's Jake, who's our dungeon master. He's always on, and he's always wanted to play. But, like, I mean, I'm busy. Other people are also busy. And that's something that, you know, sometimes they don't understand. And sometimes I don't even understand. Like, I know you're at home. I know you're just sitting there scrolling through Instagram.
Yeah.
And you consistently complain to me about not playing.
I see you bitches. You're playing Minecraft.
Yeah.
Second Rick and Morty reference for the day.
Dude. Don't hate on Minecraft. Don't hate on Minecraft.
No, I loved Minecraft. I do have those like 2-week spats of playing it. It's just gets boring after a time.
Yeah.
Where like I play like 5 updates into the last time I played. I'm like, this is all fucking new. I'm confused. Blah blah blah
Yeah.
blah blah.
Yeah.
It's still a fun game at the end
They
of the
added
day.
a lot to it. Because I used to just be a miner. Oh. I used to.
We all used to be miners.
Yeah, I was about. Yeah, waiting for that one. I used to only be underground and like dig for stuff. And then when I started playing with Cassidy, like Cassidy makes these houses like a basic like 8x8 wooden house, and oh my god, this is beautiful. And I'm like, okay, let me take over.
1 second. Let the man handle it.
And now it's like I am creating things left and right. I've never been a builder, and now I'm pretty proficient in, you know, figuring out angles with stairs and everything. But now they've added, first time ever with the new update, finding another fortress finally. And, you know, I finally got all that stuff. I'm getting us ready to go to the end and fight the end dragon.
I've still never done that.
Neither have I. This is my first time ever without cheats.
Yeah.
Like, I've always had some friends that go, okay, I don't want to have to dig too much. Let's just spawn in, you know, Ender Eyes. And so we'd always spawn it in. And, because, I mean, like, YouTubers, you always see them doing it. So it's like same thing. You want to be able to do it. So I finally am able to do it. I'm finally getting there. And I think I like it a lot more than I did previously, because I'm not just doing mining, I'm building, I'm mining, I'm armory, I'm everything now, and farming, everything. Cassie just likes to walk around and, get horses in her stable.
I'm always a nomad when I play.
Are you really?
Oh yeah, I just roam around. I have an inventory full of stuff.
Yeah, just shit. Yeah. Games like that are pretty fun where you can just kind of explore. Like, do you ever play Don't Starve together?
I have. I never really got into it.
I kind of like that because you could roam around, but you could only roam around for so long. Same with Minecraft now. Like at nighttime, or in the ocean now, there's those things that come up to you and kill you like 2 hits.
Oh, the Guardians?
Yeah, the Guardians, and then the underwater, not druids.
Oh, drowned.
Drowned, yeah. Those things, I mean, with tridents, it's like goodbye after 2 hits. It's so stupid. But games like that where you can explore, like, again, Baldur's Gate. All you have is your inventory, your treasury, and then you just explore the world and you learn. You have a camp that you come back to, yes, but I love those games where you can kind of build out your world. And I love having maps, especially in Minecraft, and building a map around where we're at.
If you like Baldur's Gate, try out Divinity Original Sin. It's made by Larian
Yeah,
Studios.
yeah. I know what that is.
Yeah.
I've watched my dad play that early on when he used to play that shit on Xbox 360.
I just downloaded, like, not even 2 hours ago, the Guardians of the Galaxy game. 'Cause
Yeah.
It was on sale for Steam for $8.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, let me know how that is, because I just downloaded Valorant because it just got on Xbox Game Pass.
Yep.
I've been playing the crap out of that because I love CSGO.
Yeah.
And I used to play that shit all the time on the PC. I was never good at it. And now they made it for Xbox, which is... It's all right. They've made it okay with the controls, but I'm and then Modern Warfare 3, they just added on Game Pass.
I'm waiting. I have such high hopes for the new Black Ops.
Yeah.
I have such high hopes. I hope that it is, because I skip every other Call of Duty. So I got Modern Warfare 2, skip Modern Warfare 3. I'm going to get the new Black Ops.
Yeah.
Along with the new Assassin's Creed, because I have to.
Yeah, I was about to say, you got that. You have to now.
Which I forget, last time, did I have my frog tattoo?
I don't think so. You just get a new one?
Back in, like, October or March-ish.
I think I might have seen that. That looks
It was
very
on
similar.
Instagram.
Maybe that's where I saw
Yeah.
it from. It's originally on Instagram.
Yeah.
Did that hurt?
Only once it got up to, like, this region.
Yeah, dude. Oh, God. How many you got now? 3?
1, 2, 3, 4.
4.
Then I'm wanting to get Bulbasaur right here. I know I talked about this on Gupton's episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have, like...
Is that your favorite starter?
No, my favorite starter is Squirtle, but
Yeah.
it looks better in Celtic Knot to be Bulbasaur. I still like Bulbasaur.
Are you going to get colored?
Yes.
Yeah. Nice.
Maybe. I don't know. It really depends. Like, that looks fine, black and gray. That looks good in color. It really depends.
Yeah.
Like, when I got the color, I wanted just the frog and the grass to have color, so it pops a little bit more.
Sick.
Yeah, I have a few tattoos I want to do, but I do not have money to do it, unfortunately, because I have to be a responsible adult.
Amen. Amen.
No way, man. I don't like being an adult.
I don't, dude.
No one told you about the responsibilities. They just told you don't wish to grow up so fast.
Yes, that is so true. They also didn't ever tell you that you have to watch your parents get old. That was some shit that hit me like a rock. But I mean, like, oh God.
It hit my not my parents, but it hit my grandparents more.
Yeah.
Because I came back and my grandfather had like a hearing aid.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's when it hit me. I'm like, oh shit.
They're getting old.
Yeah.
And it's I mean, same shit with my grandparents. Like, out of college, I used to be able to go skiing with them or be able to hang out with them so easily, and now it's like every 20 steps we got to take a break with Grandpa.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I go over there more often to help them with yard stuff than anything. My grandpa's still working.
Mm-hmm.
He's still working 82?
80 hours?
No, 82.
82.
Year old.
Oh, Jesus. I supplement his food with it because he got a little bit too big, so I cut back on the food and supplemented with green beans.
Healthy. Gotta go healthy. I get that. I do that with myself. When I find myself eating way too much, which is often.
Dude, I need to stop myself so much from eating. Like,
Yeah.
it really depends on the day. If I'm bored, I'll usually eat, but I've been usually just having like one meal a day and just a big meal, because my normal routine now is I've been going to the gym with Daniel.
Yeah.
So I've been going in the morning with him, but I haven't been eating until I go.
Yeah.
So it helps me to lose weight a little bit more, because I don't have any like calories to already burn off. It's basically just my body burning off its own calorie, just functioning. And then I have one meal, and then depends if I'm hungry around dinner time or anything. But I've usually had like 1 or 2 meals a day, and I've sort of just been shredding weight.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
That's nice. That's good. That's have you noticed yourself happier or feeling better?
I've been doing a few things. I've been cutting back on what I'm eating. I've been fasting a little bit more. I've also been taking cold showers, and it's been, like it. I'm also naturally fucking hot. No matter what. So the cold showers
feels so good.
It's nice because it, one, cools down my whole body temperature. Two, I go for my cold shower, immediately go to bed on my cooling comforter.
Oh my gosh, that.
Dude, I hate the heat. I hate the heat so much. That is why I want to leave.
Feels so good.
It is so fucking hot. I can never cool down.
Yep.
I'm just a bundle of sweat. That's why I want to go to Tennessee so bad.
Just to get some version of winter that isn't 2 months out of the year.
Yeah, I just need something in the summer that isn't too hot.
Oh, and muggy.
Dude, the mugginess is so bad. Like I go in my car and it's just like an oven.
Yeah. Or do you have black interior?
Yes.
Yeah. I can't. My Jeep's black on the outside, black on the inside. I mean, I thank God I got a car first off, but that heat is so like. I mean, I will start sweating just sitting there. And I figured out I can't eat like an hour before I go to bed, or I will wake up sweating like hard. And it's not just like your casual meat sweats. It's like I'll eat a bag of Skittles or half a bag of Skittles or something. And I'll wake up sweating. If I don't do that, I can sleep through the night and not get overheated. But if I eat before I go to bed, because I do the same thing as you do, I'm busy in the day, so I don't make time for myself to eat. And then at night at like 6 to 8, I'll gorge myself. And I'm like the sin gluttony. I will eat so much that 4 a.m. comes around and I'm waking up like dripping sweat because of how much I've gone through. But, oh, God, that is such a huge issue. I think that's also about like regulation, like trying to figure that shit out.
It's also, I've been taking like a few supplements to try to like give myself what I'm lacking. Like I'm very iron deficient. I've been taking Alpha Brain for memory. I've been taking vitamin D, a multivitamin, fish oil for just recovery.
We were talking about this last time too, about ashwagandha and everything. I just purchased fish oil. And
do ashwagandha in cycles, cycle yourself on and off, because allegedly, I have not done much research, it might alter your brain chemistry, so you'd want to cycle on and off, not stay on it. Because there's been some people that stayed on it, and it's just kept them at like, it's a mood stabilizer. Okay. So it will really stabilize your mood. Yeah,
I've only done ashwagandha through like drinks. I need to try like supplements and everything.
Do you have a Costco membership?
No. I don't.
In all honesty, Amazon has all of it.
I have to get going in 4 minutes, just by the 4 to 10 minutes. 4 to 10 minutes.
We can wrap up right now.
Let me do a quick shout out if you don't mind.
Camera's yours.
Jeff Probst, my name is Ed Sessions. I'm applying here for Survivor 49. Please, God, you know I would win. I've hosted a few Survivor games in the past. You've seen my audition tapes. Here's another one. I appreciate you and I love you. Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you, Ed, for coming on Duff's Tavern.
I appreciate you.
Cheers. Some empty glasses.
Amen. Thank you for the Shrek piss.
Oh, anytime.
It might be a one and done.
It probably will be a one and done. This will come back up when I do the drink making video, but like that's a lot of shit. That is.
It is. I think this would be great pregame. Mm-hmm. Do 1 or 2 of these for a pregame, and then you can go and do an activity. But I think if I had another one of these, I might have to stay here for a little bit longer.
Yeah. No, it definitely is like a Long Island iced tea.
Yeah.
For different ones. Well, thank you for coming on again. Really enjoyed another conversation. You'll be back on in the future without a question.
What do you call your followers?
I don't really have a name for them yet.
You should call
Barflies, maybe?
Barflies?
Yeah.
Did I say that? Okay. That's probably better than what I was about to say. I was
What
about
were
to
you gonna say?
either, Duffies or Taverners, but I wanted to stick with your name, like Duff. You gotta have something around.
I don't know. Barflies is interesting.
Barflies, yeah.
Because the barfly is the person that like
Sticks, yeah.
stays at the bar, is like the one that's drunk in the corner. That's usually the
Yeah,
barfly.
I'm surprised we didn't mention Remy while all this conversation's been going on.
Along with lore, Remy is turned into a ghost. He's currently haunting that shaker, and that's why it pops up.
Thank you, Remy. I appreciate it. I appreciate it, buddy.
Thank you guys for listening to this episode. Like, share, tell your friends about this, share it around. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and have a good one.